Bro Plata. Hi, everybody. It's Ray Highclack, Tim Danko right over this way, looking pretty, apparently tired. He's looking sexy, though. Timmy, how are you, buddy?
I just told you, man, I'm tired and I'm angry at you. You want to get into that right away?
Sure.
All right, this is why I'm angry at Ray, because he did it to me again, everybody. He did it to me again.
What did I do?
You may remember many episodes again. I went off on Ray because he spoiled The Mandalorian for me. So Ray put something else on Facebook.
Wait,
No, Ray, listen, I know the meme has something to do with something else, but it was from WandaVision, so you ruined it for me. You did it again.
I didn't.
You did it for me again. Ray spoiled WandaVision for me because he put stuff on Facebook. Why would you do that to me? And not only, again, I let Ray use my service. Let him use my password and whatnot. So yeah, not only is he not paying for Disney Plus, he's spoiling me every freaking episode. Dude, why do you do that to me? It was how much I went off on you on The Mandalorian, right? And I grounded you, right? I took it away from you, my password away. I changed it and gave it back to you for like a month. Now you did this shit to me on WandaVision. There's only like one episode left, so I know I feel bad taking the password from you because there's only 1 week left.
By the way,
there's 2 left.
Yeah, episode 8's coming out Friday, and episode 9, the season.
Well, guess who's not going to watch them? Ray.
I'll find a way to watch those. I'm too invested, man. And I thought by Sunday you would have watched it. I didn't know. I don't know people's schedules when they're talking about when they watch shows.
Well, this is the thing. If you watch a show that Ray watches on Disney Plus and you don't want it spoiled, you have to watch it at 3 a.m. when it comes out on Friday.
Pretty much, yeah.
If you don't, he will.
Time that I try and watch it.
I actually did that when I was being nice and let him use your account. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He will shit on your face with the knowledge he already learned from watching this episode.
Hey.
Hashtag raise dick.
Just
a monster.
We all know this. I'm Big Business Ray. It's what happens in the world. Big Business Ray does not care about your feelings. Big Business Ray says, watch it on Friday or don't watch it all. That's what I say.
Yeah, not only that, I mean, that's a personal thing. I'm not even talking about the podcast stuff I'm angry about. Of course, I can't say too much because like I said, I'm tired and I missed a couple fights and I just woke up. I just cracked the beer. Can't say too much, but
yeah,
we need to get these things updated, man, because we got more listens than we do on the other 800 profile, whatever, what do you call it? Streaming services we're on than videos. And, but we're like 10 episodes behind. We're 10 episodes behind now. So
we are now. Yeah.
Raymond, that's too many. Listen, I was very happy that we got an iHeart. I didn't think everybody could get on iHeart. I don't know how we got on it. Maybe everyone can. I don't know, but we're on iHeart.
I'd say anybody can submit to iHeart. They just go through your show and see if there's anything like wrong with it. Really, that's
there you go. Nothing wrong with it, except it's bad. Other than that, and we're 10 episodes behind. I'm
gonna do a mega dump.
I've heard this before. Exactly.
Yes, you have.
Again, I don't trust you, and it's not because of who you are as a person. It's what you do. Maybe so. Yeah, who you are as a person. Yeah. So yeah. I take it back. It is who you are as a person. No, it's just track record. Because you said you're gonna put a video up after this episode. You said the same thing
last
episode, right? And
well, the lost episode, I want that to go up because of the idea that we hid a couple Easter eggs.
No, we didn't.
No,
we didn't.
That's all I'm saying.
No, we didn't. Quiet, Ray. You're gonna ruin it.
I'm not saying what they are. Just you kind of have to pay attention. You would be in the episode.
A terrible magician.
I would be.
You'd be the worst. Look, everybody, I'm gonna show you how I did it. Yeah. You do a trick and then show everybody how you did it, and then
But I mean, it's one of those things, man. Whereas I don't know, general depression disorder. I came back from Las Vegas, which was going from sun to this, which we're dealing with right now, which is just cold. I haven't worked in a week. That's been another thing. Like I actually haven't done my job
already. You got fired already.
Hoping to God, nah. He said I'm working tomorrow. So,
all right. Because of weather?
Yeah, because what we do is for like what I do for work. We use a lot of like air compressors and stuff like that, so condensation will build up.
Condensation.
Condensation, Tommy. Condensation. It's this week on condensation was you can just wait, Tim, do what you gotta do. You're not gonna even give it dignity. It's that bad.
Show bomb. No, it's something. I was just doing a real quick condensation and hoping that you would just keep moving on, right? And that no, you had to stop. And you had to keep piling on until we got a show bomb.
Yeah, just
Ray can't just let the joke go. Ray has to ruin it.
Yeah, it's an implosion of epic proportions. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, was there a good joke made on the show? Is there a good joke made in the show? Just give it a minute. Ruin it. Ray will ruin it. Ray in it. Yeah,
we'll have some tinfoil hat rants that'll get us possibly more listeners.
You can do that. I'm not putting on tinfoil. Not on this, dude. You kidding me? It's bad enough I put headphones on this masterpiece.
It is a very oh God, what was his name? The Partridge Family, David Cassidy-esque haircut. Very nice, very flowy. It's very 70-ish. I like it. Should be doing the disco duck.
Jeez. Disco duck ruined disco, man.
It did.
That and just labels ruined disco. Disco is good. But then people were like, oh man, if we put the word disco on anything, it will sell. And you put disco duck and you get disco like aerobics albums and shit. And then people turned on disco.
How about the guy who did Disco Duck? I forget his Chuck.
What you shouldn't know this, right? Just so you know, you should not.
I love radio history, so it's like,
you shouldn't know.
Broadcasting history is fun.
The monster that did Disco Duck. I don't know. Who cares?
He actually did another disco song right after that called Disco-rilla.
Fantastic.
It's god awful.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought that the guy that made Disco Duck would make something worse or equally as bad? Who would have thought? You figure that guy probably just had one clunker and a bunch of amazing hits after that.
Oh God, no! He was a DJ for years, and then he was also, I think, I heard today. I was listening to Anthony Cumia, and it came up Disco Duck. But that guy, they were watching. I think it was a Brady Bunch like variety show that was on in like the 80s, I think. But they had the guy who did Disco Duck, but then they played Disco-rilla, and it sounds exactly the same as Disco Duck. Like he just basically looped everything again and changed it to Disco-rilla, which is disco music. I am not a fan of disco. I'm more of a fan of the Disco Demolition in Chicago than I am anything.
A good song. You know, it'd be a good song. Hold on, don't say anything, Ray. Harrison is behind the scenes. Harrison, if you can find my Tapology page, if you search Tim Danko MMA and look at the Tim Danko Tapology page, if you could pull that up for us. This would be a really good disco song. My fight nickname. Anyway, while he's looking at that, man. You know what? I was gonna go somewhere else, but we need him for that too. So one thing at a time. We only have one Harrison. There's only one Harrison.
There's only one Harrison in the booth.
Oh, can I talk about like a wrestler that gave me a lot of? Oh, here we go. Here it is. Can you zoom in on there when it says Tim Danko at the top? Yeah, there it is. The Disco Gangster. Tim Danko. I did that recently. I got on my Tapology page and decided to give myself a nickname. So yeah, the Disco Gangster. There's Disco Duck, and now there's Disco Gangster. Disco Gangster. Yes.
It's better than Disco Inferno, who is a terrible professional wrestler.
I believe that. Harris, can we scroll down to my records here? We got no wins, one loss. If you go down, you can see.
Well, that's a lie. There's a couple lies on here. I'm seeing your weight.
Well, it was the weight from last weigh-in, which is correct.
Was it?
I can change my current weight, but that was my last weigh-in. That was over 100 pounds ago.
I love how
earnings 0. That's correct. Yeah. That's hard. That's a hard correct. That would probably be the same thing on my comedy page too. Disclosed earnings 0.
Instead of career disclosed earnings or next to it, it just should say free. Like, or a sandwich. We'll fight for that.
I didn't even get that, man. I had to pay them, right? I had to pay licenses and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't get anything. Yeah, Yep, one loss.
And I mean,
okay.
Uricksville and New Philadelphia is technically West Virginia. So I mean, we can just put that Ohio thing out of the way as well.
Well, if you look at it may say, I don't know, just say fighting out. Oh, this is Ohio. Okay. Because I was fighting out of Canton, Ohio at the time because I was living in Canton. So
okay. It was 8 years ago. Our boy Tim Danko stepped in to
Harrison. Can you scroll down further to where it says about the fight? It should have it on there.
Yeah,
there it is. Sent down there somewhere.
Kind of jealous.
So there it is. Fight record.
Tim Danko is eligible.
There it is. Yeah. Lost Kyle Mathis. Lost strikes. 1 minute 28 seconds in the round number 2. Cage
what Kyle Mathis is doing now? Is he still fighting?
No, he didn't fight again.
Okay.
I don't know. He has a couple kids now. I think he was younger than me. Like he was like 20 when I was 25. So he's okay. He has a couple kids. I don't know. I see his uncle every now and then, and I'm friends with his uncle on Facebook. Yeah, I don't know. We can probably finally get him on if you want to talk about him beating me up 8 years ago. We can probably do that. We need to find a video. Actually, we found the video, but we need to get it. So, all right. So there's that bit. Make fun of my my MMA nickname. Eventually, we'll get that. So before we get the fights, let's go to Hero of the Week. You want to do that, Ray? Is Ray gone? Uh-oh. Harrison, I think Ray froze. I don't know what's going to happen. So let's just roll without him until he comes back. Oh, here he is. He's coming. Wait for it. We still have a black screen now. All right. Well, first of all, Hero of the Week. I have a couple honorable mentions, all right? The first one is this guy. What is his name? I just looked up his name. Now I'm going to forget it already. Oh, here we go. Russell Okung, an offensive lineman. He played for the Seahawks. He played for the Carolina Panthers. This is why he's my honorable mention for Hero of the Week. This dude, his last contract with the Panthers, he asked for half of his salary in Bitcoin. So the Panthers were like, okay, whatever. It's the same to us. So they gave him half of his salary in Bitcoin. Well, since then, Bitcoin's like tripled. So now he's like, now they say he's actually the highest paid player in football now. What Ray's power went out? Harrison, can you come on for a second? I know it's not your favorite thing to do, but no, there he is.
Motherfucker.
What happened?
My goddamn power went out in my house.
Is it out?
I'm doing the show like this because why not? And I again, like I said, I'm just waiting for all my stuff to kick back on. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you, man, but stop moving the camera. It looks like we're watching Cloverfield, man.
Here, let me do this. Make it easier on myself.
Do you need one of those there you go. You say somebody got me one of those things. It's you put your phone in it and then it goes around your neck so you can I'm sure I'm assuming it was made for pornography. I'm assuming.
Sometimes it definitely can be.
I mean, I haven't used it for that because I only need one hand, but I can see if some people need to do something extra with the left or the right, whatever, I can understand that. Anyway, Ray, hopefully your power comes back on. Until then,
it was like a brownout for a second, but I'm waiting for the router and everything to turn back on.
Your brownout, you shot yourself?
I did, especially during these most trying of COVID times. You've always got to chat yourself once or twice a day.
Sure, that makes sense. Anyway, I was talking about an honorable mention. I haven't gotten my Hero of the Week. I had an honorable mention. One was this offensive lineman for the Carolina Panthers who asked for half of his salary in Bitcoin and is now the highest paid player in football just because it like tripled since they gave it to him.
Yeah.
So that guy's one of my heroes. Also, honorable mention to a guy from your world, Ray, The Miz, because The Miz had a great rant to J.J. Watt about why he should join the Cleveland Browns, and I love him for it. He went pretty hard. He went full wrestler on it, and it was pretty great. I and The Miz are a fan of the same football team, so I like that. But my real hero of the week, yeah, I know, the real hero of the week, Raymond, Senator Ted Cruz of Texas.
Oh God,
this guy. And this guy pulled, man, okay, so there's that snowpocalypse / everyone lost power in Texas. Senator Ted Cruz in Texas pulled what I could only imagine would be a Ray Highclock move if he was a senator, going, you know what?
No.
I'm dipping out. You guys got this. I'm going on vacay. I'm out. It's hilarious, man. His state is in, like I said, it's in the apocalypse. Everyone's losing power, and he's like, I'm gone. And not only that, I think the real reason he's my hero this week, I'm having lighting problems again. This darn camera, I'm going to blame the camera, is because people started giving him his shit, and he came right back, and he's like, no, I'm just kidding. I was just getting my family settled down there, and I was always going to come right back. You know, so just brushes his shoulders off. Like, no, bro, just kidding, y'all. Just kidding, y'all. I'm here for you. The fact that he was trying to just very secretly dip out of the country when his state is in disarray. Hilarious. Perfect. Like I said, that's a Ray Highclock move.
I would absolutely not do that if I was senator of the great state of Texas, because I love Texas. If it wasn't for Texas, I wouldn't know what a ghetto gecko is. I would not have had some of the funnest experiences in my life as a little child in Houston. But what the fuck what was he thinking? Like, that was the dumbest thing you could possibly do as an elected official. And while you're fucking, it gets probably the one freak accident every like 175 fucking years. You're just gonna dip to Cancun like a fucking moron. Well, why?
It's the first time that's happened, really. But hurricanes happen more often there, so they're kind of used to power going out. But it's the fact that, I don't know, what does he do during hurricanes? Does he go out to Canada?
No, he just goes to Oklahoma and hides out. Probably.
Possibly.
He's like, I'll wait it out. Possibly. Ted Cruz looks like everybody's creepy uncle you keep kids away from in Christmas. Like, it's always like, are they near Uncle Ted? No, please get him away now. He's had too many shandies. Stop.
Right. I mean, I will give him this. Like, if he wasn't lying, which he was, and he was just getting his family settled down there when he came back, that's fine. His family going is completely fun. Actually, if you have the means to get your family out of that place while you don't have any power, I mean, yeah, go ahead and do it. Who wouldn't do that? Makes sense. Yeah. Like, let's just go somewhere else because we don't have power. Him himself, though, he has a job to do, right? I don't know what he can do.
I was say there is a drop-off lane. You can just like pull up and be like, I'll see you in a week or two. Like, that's all you gotta do.
He's full of shit. But also,
hell yeah.
What it's not like he can personally do a whole lot, but the optics are really bad. Like, you can't leave your state when you're in disarray. You're a senator. You're elected to try to help out. Even if you can't do a lot, you got to at least pretend like you're trying, right? Yeah. You can't pretend like you're trying from another country. So anyway, hero of the week, Ted Cruz. Congratulations. He now joins Julian Marquez and Jose Canseco as the heroes. I have a list. I'm keeping a list of my heroes of the week.
Oh man, I don't know, man. Ted Cruz has always been one of those like politicians I look at, and he's like a used car salesman. Like, I don't trust him that much. All
politicians are like used car salesmen.
Well, yeah. I mean,
except AOC. Like, I feel like if you try to buy a car from AOC, she'd rip herself off. Like, the dealership would just lose money. You get a great deal, but the dealership would go under in 6 months.
I was watching. Great analogy. There's this great docuseries on HBO Max called Lady and the Dale. Have you seen like stuff for that?
Yeah, I have HBO Max. I haven't watched it yet, though. I'll get to it. Don't spoil it. You can tell me what it's about.
I'm just gonna give like the story kind of, because it's been on Unsolved Mysteries, a couple other things, but it's basically about this trans woman who starts this what's it called, like motor company in San Francisco, and all of a sudden she becomes like the biggest, hottest thing, and then there's like a myriad of backstory shit where you're like, oh, okay, all right, like you just watch every episode and it gets like better and better and darker and darker, and you're like, oh my god, like what the fuck am I watching? It's sort of I wouldn't say it's exactly Tiger King meets like the Ford Motor Company, but it's pretty darn close. It's good. Check it out, Lady in the Dale on HBO Max. It's good. It's a really good documentary. I think it gets too politicized a little bit because there are some twists and turns that can be politicized, but all in all, it's a great documentary.
Was it Nader?
No.
It wasn't Nader? Nader didn't do it? No.
No.
It's the cars. Dude, I thought maybe it'd be Nader.
No, this is like around when the oil crunch was happening in like 75, 76.
Oh, okay. I got you.
And it was one of those, it's one of those documentaries where like there's part of me that wants to tell the people that are like doing that are on one side of the thing go fuck themselves. And then just because of a lot of the stuff that like went on behind the scenes and stories you hear, it's a very culty thing too, which is always nice. There's always some sort of cultish following happening in these kind of stories, and it's interesting. I think I got up to episode 5. Yeah, because last I think there was like an episode 6 that was coming out. I think it came out last Friday on HBO Max. So it's a good documentary. So if you're interested, it's definitely something worth watching.
Speaking of going to fuck yourself, that remind me of something that's also based on reality, that I just watched on HBO Max. Argo, fuck yourself.
Argo, fuck yourself.
Yeah, Argo. Rewatched Argo. It was on HBO Max. There's a line. They say Argo, fuck yourself like 8 times in that movie. It's like an ongoing joke in that movie with Alan Arkin and John Goodman. Anyway, and Ben Affleck. Anyway, that's another one, man. It's another one of those truth is stranger than fiction things, man. Especially with like government stuff because it was classified for so long. I mean, just the fact that they tried to get, well, they did. They ended up getting, well, they weren't hostages yet. They were going to be, right? I mean, they had 444 hostages in Iran, and these 6 got out and were hiding with the Canadian ambassador, and they were trying to get them out. There's no possible way they can get them out. The way they got them out was to pretend that they were part of a movie crew for a fake movie. That's a crazy story. That's why I love that movie. And it won Best Picture, I think. It's a great movie. Probably one of the best things Affleck's ever done. But it's a great movie, but the story's insane. I mean, the fact that they okayed that because they didn't have any other ideas. Like they said in the movie, there's only bad ideas. And then it just seems like a bad idea, but it works. So it's not that bad of an idea.
No. And hold on one second. I'm going to do this just because everything is back to Norman, as they say on thing. If I can get myself here. Hold on. Remove.
Oh, and Ray's gone again. Okay. Oh, he's coming back. All right, he's got his. There we go.
Yep.
Raymond is back. Good. Computer. Power's back.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what am I doing here? Oh, there we
go.
Yeah, that was my cell phone.
Okay.
But yeah, power's back on. Everything's good to go. While we were talking, I was connecting my router. It's been like the power's been going out here a lot lately. Not like long periods of time kind of thing, but it's definitely it's been little like snap outs every once in a while.
And rolling blackouts up there.
It's the wind, I'm telling you.
The wind. I was gonna say, oh yeah, we definitely learned this. Like our cameras on our phones are much better than our cameras on our computers.
I know.
True. I mean, it makes sense because I mean, I don't know about you, but my phone is much newer than my computer, so that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, this laptop's from like 2012. I want to say 2013.
I think mine is too. Yeah, if we ever get shit together, I'll buy a new camera. I've been talking about it, but this hasn't been done yet. And Ray only buys cameras that don't work for his old computer. So
yeah, it's got only like the micro USB-C or whatever it's called, so I can only plug it into like my phone. Which my phone, as you just saw, has a better like camera already. Because I looked actually pretty nice on that. I was sad to like have to go back to the old like dark ages camera I have going on right now.
Yeah, same thing here. I mean, look, I had to take my black tapestry down because the camera couldn't figure out the lighting. It made my face look like a ghost.
I do though miss the war dungeon. That was a nice. If you would have had red pins in places you wanted to attack, it would have been perfect.
It's fine. I would do that, but it's just a brick wall. It'd be kind of difficult. I guess I could push them through. It's impossible.
You should actually get a brick wall facade behind you with like
This
a
is a brick wall.
stand-up mic, like right to the left of you or right of you, and
Sure.
have your Star logo on the brick wall.
I was told I could paint this. I'm thinking about painting it just like green screen green.
Ooh.
Just like a permanent green screen behind me.
I haven't. I'm using like my black curtain because honestly, like the way my room's set up, I got to reconfigure it to get my green screen up again. But like it's dealing with my bed that's the real bitch because I've got a twin bed upstairs and it doesn't have any frame. I just place it on the floor and sleep that way. But I need a bed frame first. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, you do. You're an adult, Rick. Come on, man. Jeez.
Am I? Am I an adult?
Technically. I mean, yeah, you and me both. Like, and just only technically are we adults. Only if we go by the numbers are we adults. Other than that, no, we're terrible adults. All right, let's talk about some people getting killed.
Oh, yes. If you hadn't watched, there were two big knockouts that happened. I was live watching one of them, and then I was asleep during the other one. But Harrison, if you could pull up and get the Valdez knockout, and let me bring that up for myself as well, because I want to get this name right when I read it. It's not that one, sir. It's the other one. That one's the one we're going to do in a little bit. I got to find my news. Oh, God. Why me? But this knockout was just savage. Came in the 10th round. And, yep, that's the one. We're going off of ESPN here. And, Harrison, if you could put the sound on as well before you play it. That way we can hear the slap of this boxing mitt against human flesh is disturbing. And that is one of the best, maybe the one tiny silver lining about no crowds that you could really hear that contact and those punches. And this is one of the best examples of it. Oh, hell yeah. So yeah, let's play this and just commentate over it. Up. Oh.
Valdez has been fighting the perfect fight all
Here we go.
Knowing when the box, when the
gonna
move,
replay it and
saving grace.
Boom! Just
movement
bends him over.
To come forward.
Oh, here comes slap.
Valdez finding
that's one of those things.
Grace, that left hook. I knew as soon as he hit someone.
One more time. He just misses and throws that left hand. Oh, pretty. All righty. Yeah, that was. Shout out to Top Rank Boxing.
Yeah, it was great. And we're going to see it soon when we'll talk about it now, but the Lewis Blaydes fight and how Lewis knocked out Blaydes. You see it a lot more in MMA because of guys shooting, right? And guys grappling, guys bull rushing people, that a guy will come in running forward, and then the guy's fist or his knee, like Ben Askren or something, meets his face force on force, right? Well, the guy's coming in and then the guy's appendage is coming, either his knee or his fist, right? Those two things together, boom, nasty knockout. You don't see it as much in boxing because of the footwork, right? They don't necessarily have a guy rushing at somebody, but this is one of the few times you did. For whatever reason, that guy started kind of stumbling towards him, rushing in. That guy did a little stutter step backwards and then planted. And when he planted, he threw that big left as the guy was still coming in. And you had that kind of, like I said, what you usually see in MMA, those two forces meeting. And that's why that knockout was so darn nasty. And you also have a boxer who has a nasty left and just that big overhand left as the guy was coming in and just nailed him in the chin. It was sick. He's not dead, apparently. His CT scan was fine. But, man, that's one of the nastier knockouts you ever see. I didn't think I'd see a nastier knockout that night than what I saw before, but that could have been nastier. And it was. I think it was, especially depending on, I guess he talks about talking about smaller guys and how much power that smaller guy. I mean, you expect it from the giants like we're about to see, but.
Yeah, I mean, Oscar Valdez, I'm not familiar with him prior to the knockout. But he's got a fan in me now. If this is what he's going to do at junior lightweight and make junior lightweight interesting again.
Yeah, he was losing that fight.
Yeah,
but it's weird. It's weird that who was the guy he was fighting?
Let me pull it up again.
That's okay. The point is, it's weird that he started coming in like that, right? I don't know if he did that earlier in the fight or not. I don't know, but it was weird just the way he started coming forward. But Valdez did a great job of taking that step back and then planting and then throwing that giant left because he's still coming in. Like I said, those two forces together make you a nasty as hell knockout. And oh, geez, it was sick.
Yeah,
but, I mean, it's one of those, especially now with no sound, when you don't hear any crowd, you just hear a guy thump. And
oh yeah,
corners. Where one quarter's silent and the other quarter's a jubilant. So it's weird. It's one of those things that make you think, why do I like these sports so much? Because that's so sick. And I mean, it's another one of those, like when Frankie Edgar got knocked out. It was Miguel Burchelt. Thank you, Harrison.
Yes,
Burchelt was the guy who got his axe knocked out. Yeah. Anyway, it was sick. Yeah, one of those. Yeah, the Frankie Edgar. Once he gets knocked out, it's a great knockout. But then you're like, oh man, is he dead? Is he okay?
Yeah,
and then you can't really enjoy it till like a couple days later. After you know he's all right. He's talking. He knows who he is. All right, cool. That was a great knockout, man. Yeah.
No teeth are falling out. We're fine. Okay,
well, you can fix that, man. You can fix teeth, right? Brains, that's different.
Yeah, especially when that his brain had to be a pinball at that point. Like, just Oscar Valdez though. If he's got that kind of power at junior lightweight, imagine what he does. Because I want to know how old that kid is, and figure out and see. Because he looked like a young dude. Like he looked like a guy that was probably in his early 20s. He'll go up in weight, and that power will follow him, and he'll be somebody to watch. I mean, right now he's the WBC junior lightweight champion because of it, and just the sexiness that was so pretty, so pretty.
What's his first name?
Oscar Valdez is the
Oscar Valdez, Mexican boxer. These are both Mexicans. I knew that much. He's 30.
He's 30. He looks younger than both of us.
Well, he's a little Mexican.
Hey.
What? He's a little guy, and Burchell's 29. Thank you, Harrison. He's a small guy and he's Mexican. What? That's nothing. Tell me how that's racist.
You're saying little Mexican. How dare you?
Because I said it in the same breath.
Yeah. I just wanted to call you out on it.
That weight class. What is that weight class in boxing? Like 145, 146, something like that.
Junior lightweight, I think, is about 145. I want to say.
Junior lightweight weight.
Baxton.
Look at this. It's gonna tell me. It's 126.
Oh, geez. Okay.
126 to 130, which means what? 130. So 130.
And according also to the punch stats, Valdez was ahead on all of these, all the areas you needed to be with. Total thrown was 534 at the time.
Okay, he wasn't losing the fight. My bad. Honestly, I didn't watch the whole fight.
He was pretty. It was pretty though. I mean, if he was just destroyed, the way he destroyed him was just crazy. So that was the nice part. For sure.
Right. I mean, I think mainly because I don't know a lot of these boxers. I don't necessarily watch those fights, but I'll go back if I hear it was great. But I mean, same thing with that Lopez Lomachenko fight. That fight was amazing. I watched that fight. Amazing. It's because boxers are great, man. I mean, look, when you watch, if anyone who doesn't watch boxing, who watches MMA, who likes stand-up, right? If you're like, oh, I like when they stand up bag more, watch boxing, man, because number one, that's all they do, and also they're so awesome at it.
Yeah,
their hands are so good at it because that's all they do. You know, their hands are amazing. If anybody in MMA had and listen, no one really does. There's guys who have great hands in MMA, but no one has real boxing hands. They have good boxing hands, but no real boxing hands. Their hands are amazing, and you just watch that and you're in awe.
Yeah,
because they're fantastic at it.
It's that's why that was my first sport outside of hockey that I really got into was boxing. I mean, I can remember as a kid watching the replay of Paul Spadafora, the Pittsburgh kid, taking on Angel Manfredi in Pittsburgh. Like they actually did a pay-per-view for HBO. Main event was in Pittsburgh. And then and he made Angel Manfredi or Paul made him look like a fucking child in there, which was great. And only downside is 2 weeks later, he shoots his pregnant girlfriend in a gas station in like West Mifflin, Pennsylvania. Like, I
Ray,
love.
why are all your heroes monsters, Ray?
Because that's just who I go for, I guess. I don't know. I gravitate. I'm not a big fan of R. Kelly, but I like his music. And
Yeah, of course you do.
um,
Benoit, that guy. Who
oh
else,
God,
man?
dude, you want to talk about a day? Because I was a huge Chris Benoit fan.
I don't actually. Moving on.
It was a sad day to have that moment happen where it was like Chris Benoit and his family are found dead, and then like all of a sudden more news story comes out, and WWE just totally like acts like they didn't give him a tribute on Friday Night SmackDown. Like they just dropped that shit like a rock, just nothing for after that. He's actually, they don't mention him on the WWE network. If you watch like a Chris Benoit match, it'll say like Chris Jericho takes or in a cruiserweight match on WCW, WrestleMania 20, I think it was. Yeah, WrestleMania 20. He's not mentioned, but he's in the main event of the fucking pay-per-view. It's a horrifying thing to be like, oh yeah, he deserved exactly what he got, but acknowledge that he did that beforehand. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm Chris Benoit.
All right, I actually stopped paying attention to what you're saying because I was thinking about something else. But dude, I can only do one thing at a time. All right, I have the ADD and I'm not medicated anymore. So
quit thinking about puppies. Okay.
And I wasn't thinking about puppies. I was thinking about Mauro Ranallo and how great that call was. And we don't think we really listened to yeah, we did. But the call, number one, knockouts are great. Mauro Ranallo calling a knockout, even better.
Mm-hmm. Mauro Ranallo is probably, in my opinion, of besides maybe Goldie, the best commentator.
We've talked about this like 8 times.
Yes,
but,
and I'm still trying to get him on the show. Like
I want to too. Number one, man, you gotta throw the mental health thing out there because that's a big thing. I'd rather talk about that with him than anything, honestly. Well, whatever he wants to talk about, but
that would definitely be an angle that we would talk about, just because we both are dealing with shit and it's
right. I
never good.
Recently, I started watching his documentary "Bipolar Rock and Roller," and I only got through like half of it because it's kind of rough to watch.
It is,
especially if you deal with that kind of stuff. You're just like, oh, this is hard to watch someone else go through it. And I honestly, his stuff is different than mine, but I it's worse than me. But I definitely have my issues. But it's rough to watch. I'm gonna watch the rest of it. It's just kind of hard to watch. It's good. It's good.
I see a lot of myself in Mauro when it comes to like how I get down on myself and everything, and I do a lot of the same things he does when he gets super depressed. It's hard to watch. It's like looking at, like you just said, it's hard to watch because it is looking at like into a mirror, and you're I mean, and again, I think, to be honest with you, I would put him above Mike Goldberg as the best MMA commentator in the game.
Well, just combat sports, man. I mean, when Mauro's on the call, I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
I like John Anik a lot, but he doesn't get me excited, right? And I mean, I like him. I like him more than the other guys who did the UFC, the Fitzgerald and Gooden. I like him.
Gooden.
I don't hate him. I don't hate any of those guys. I think they're all good, but none of them get me as excited as like Mauro Ranallo does when I hear Mauro's on the card. Also, I don't know. Joe Tessitore at ESPN is amazing too.
Tessitore's pretty dope.
He's just such a big boxing fan, and you can tell. You can just tell. Same thing with Mauro. He's such a big fan of what he's calling. You can just tell. But Joe Tessitore is the same way. Also, man, just Joe Tessitore has like the smoothest pipes. I mean, Mauro does too, but Tessitore is like velvet, dude. That guy's voice is fantastic. Not everybody has that. Like Anik is a great broadcaster, but he doesn't have that. That nice solo baritone, right? He doesn't have that. But dude, Tessitore has amazing pipes, and so does Mauro.
Yeah, and like I'm trying to think who else. Like even in sports in general, like Matt Vasgersian. I thought like
he's a little whiny. He's just a little
really
Vasgersian. Yeah, I mean, I like Vasgersian, but I think he was talking about like just like the old school. I mean, who's the guy who does the radio for Ohio State? I forget that guy's name. That guy's voice is amazing. I was listening to him yesterday because he was doing a basketball game.
Oh, okay.
That guy has a big power, deep baritone. Like
Mike Lang is always a good one if you've ever heard Mike Lang before. He's the radio commentator, or this year he's taking a break for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And he's got like an old grizzled radio voice where it's sort of like this, and here we go down the ice, and you want to listen to him because it's just that deepness, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, Tom Hamilton's my favorite, but he doesn't necessarily have that either. But he's great and he's amazing, but he doesn't have that like real classic, real old school, like cigarettes and bourbon type baritone.
He's got that like 80s, because like Harry Carey kind of started that like high pitched voice deep into center field in like, that was like a 60s, 70s radio broadcaster for baseball, announcer, Paul Keels. I don't even know who Paul Keels is. I'm seeing a comment here.
I don't know. I'll look it up.
I'm trying to think too. But with like radio announcers for like certain things, you got to have a decent voice for. MMA is one of those where like a deep voice guy can definitely get it. But like what I love about Morrow.
No, thank you. She gave me the name of the guy from Ohio State. His name's Paul Keels. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, that guy's voice is fantastic. That guy has, dude, that thing's like a bottom barrel thumper, man. That guy's voice is fantastic. I listen to that guy say anything.
I'm trying to think who else. The guy that used to do Detroit Red Wings games back in the 90s for radio broadcast.
If you say Tom Brenneman, I am getting off of this show.
Tom Brenneman is who?
Am I thinking Brenneman? Yeah, he's the guy for the Reds who just got canceled.
Oh, no. Red Wings. I said Red Wings.
I know. I was joking. I was doing a joke.
That was the Reds, sir.
I was doing a joke. Look what you did.
I'm not going to defend a bigot like that. It's something you don't.
Did you see like somebody like put that broadcast over like MLB The Show? And it's like, MLB The Show has gotten super realistic, and it's him apologizing after he just did it. He's like, I'm really sorry for what I said. It was a disgusting thing that as Castellanos strides one to left, and that's going to be a home run for the Reds. Which is great, which is just like that first scene in Brockmire, which I only saw the first episode of Brockmire. That's another great announcer, Brockmire. Anyway, that first episode when he's talking about his wife cheating on him, but he's still broadcasting the game. He's like, yeah, my wife is a cheating whore, as Rodriguez takes the first ball up high. It's hilarious. That's why I thought that the reason that scene was so funny is just because that's just what announcers do. They talk about anything. They can get into something super serious, like the fact that they just said something ridiculous that they're going to get fired for, and they're still kind of half calling the game.
Well, Harry Doyle from Major League is a great example of that, where that's it. One goddamn run. You can't say goddamn on the air. Nobody's listening anyway. Oh, I love it, man. Like,
the thing is, Bob Uecker is like, we talked about this before. He's like 80% Harry Doyle.
Yeah,
like Harry Doyle is just like just a little bit more amped up Bob Uecker. That's it.
I think I've told the story. One of my favorite Bob Uecker stories ever from a celebrity was Bobby the Brain Heenan getting him because Uecker had a Coors sponsorship what's a Milwaukee
is it Miller? Maybe it was Miller.
Miller, yeah, something like that. And Bobby Heenan was offered him, I think it was
oh shit, did we lose Ray again? We may have. Did he lose power again? Should we just give up at this point? We haven't even started talking about fights yet. I don't know. I know the story he's going to tell. He's going to tell about some wrestler giving Bob Uecker a Michelob or something and then calling him out for it. Did it happen again? Did it happen again?
Well, no, I realize now it's happening. My foot is hitting the power cord, and it's causing everything to turn off.
Of course.
So I'm
of course it. Ray is his own power outage. Well, this is kind of high quality show we put on for everybody. That Ray just keeps wagging his power cord and blaming it on the weather.
God damn it. I want something to go right, man.
Yeah.
All right, Ray, you crazy fellow, you. Here.
So
what
anyway,
am I gonna do with you? I just told everybody.
It's actually kind of funny.
I too late, man. I just told everybody the end of the story.
Oh, okay. Well,
I told him he gave him a Michelob, and then he called him out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You told me the story before. I didn't know where you went.
Funny.
I thought you might have died. I don't know.
No, much to the chagrin of a lot of people, including some people possibly in the Cleveland comedy scene. I am GLaDOS from fucking Portal.
Has
Still
something
alive.
happened, man? Are you pissing people off? What are you doing now?
I don't know. You never know.
I mean, I can see that happening, but
No, I was about to say, can you? That was going to be my next question. Is like, can you not see it?
Listen, I don't know what you're doing, but I've noticed, like, dude, I mean, listen, I'm not gonna say back in my day because it's now my day, still my day, but like, from when I started, I'll say, a lot of people, man, they get a little more angry about stuff as they used to, man. The comics, I mean, look, I mean, when I was a handful of years in, comics didn't get mad about a lot of stuff. Unless it was like, promoters fucking with them and stuff like that stuff. But like getting mad at other comics for bits they did, that wasn't a thing. Now it's a thing. Now it's a thing a lot.
It's a prevalent thing, man, and I don't like it just because, like, being a comedian, I think it's lost on a lot of people that we all do the same like thing. We just do it in different ways. Like, that's what comedy is. Comedy should be purely about you and what you want to do with your act. And I feel like there's a lot of comics out there that are too judgmental, two, they feel like there's too many clicks in comedy, which I don't really give a shit about the click part about it. But I don't know, people get mad over jokes that comics do, and you're like, shut the fuck up. Like, it's a joke. It's not like everybody in the room doesn't find it fucking funny. If the room's laughing and you're not, you're the problem, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, even if they don't, it doesn't really matter. Who cares? I mean, like, if you don't like what someone else does, then, like, I don't know, don't laugh at their jokes, or if you have shows and stuff, or don't put them on your shows, whatever. That's enough, right? Yeah. You don't have to like put them on blast, right?
They feel the need to be the police, though. Like, that's the thing. Like, the comedy police is a thing that has only existed in the last couple of years.
Yeah,
if you really
it's relatively new. Yeah, I started seeing it happen, and I'm like, when the hell did this happen?
Yeah, and it's sad, man, because I want to watch the Patrice O'Neal documentary that they just put out on Comedy Central, and kind of like, because Patrice was one of those guys who was untouchable in a way, because he was everything that left-leaning comics want to talk about. And he would tell them to basically go fuck themselves. I'm going to do my shit right here and have some fun doing it. And he never put any comics on blast, except for maybe Mencia back in the day. Like, Mencia was probably the only one he put on blast.
That's different, though, I think. Yeah.
It is.
No, I mean, listen, yeah. No. Yeah. No, okay, listen, I've always heard people put joke thieves on blast. They should. Yeah. Like, yeah, if you hear somebody who's literally stealing jokes from people, just be like, dude, this guy's stealing jokes, just so you know. He's done it to multiple people. I've seen him do it. If he's at your mics, watch what you do. You know?
Yeah.
That's the right thing to do. Now, just say, hey, this guy is a monster because he did a joke about something I don't agree with. That's messed up, man.
It is.
That's pretty messed up. Yeah, and screwed up, man. Whatever.
I'm entering the room, sir, putting myself on.
No, we got two Rays. This is my worst nightmare come true. Jeez, if you're just listening to the audio, I just saw two Rays at once.
It's a weird thing. My twin
Ray keeps drop kicking his power cord and blaming it on the wind. So.
And now I got to keep my feet like towards my chair, so now I'm like sitting up proper like a gentleman. Look all fantastic.
Oh, all right. So let's start calling people who call out people. Calling out people who call out people. Let's do that.
I'm gonna do that every chance I can, sir.
I'm joking. I don't really care. But
and we actually have something. I'll talk about it right now.
Well, hold on. It's just about comedy because I was gonna say something else.
Yeah, this is about comedy, and it's actually about a buddy that we know pretty well. I don't know if you actually know him pretty well, but he's an Erie PA comic. His name's Daniel Brady.
I saw that. Yeah, he's talking about Kettler, so he's probably right. Then no one likes that guy.
I'm
The only
aware.
people who like that guy are
and
people who he pays, which is like not a lot of people.
He doesn't pay anybody. What are you fucking talking about? This fucking waste of life saying this shit to one of my fucking friends after fucking I come to one of his shows and it's fucking god awful. First of all, it's a weird show. It lasted far too long. And to be honest with you, it's just fuck Chris Kettler. Right here, motherfucker. Fuck
Again,
you and your stupid hippie beard.
What we're doing is different than what we're complaining about. We're those people. Like, no, what we're doing is completely different. No, I mean, it is, though. But because we're not talking about the bid someone's doing. We're talking someone being an asshole promoter and saying really fucked up shit to people.
Mm-hmm.
Did he went after the dude's sexuality?
Yeah.
Which is never a good deal.
Like saying he was sucking dick to get on shows and stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
No, dude.
Yeah.
And
we're not even talking about Chris Kettler as a comic, all right? We're not even talking about that. We're talking about him as a promoter and a person.
Well, I mean, his act and himself are the same fucking thing, just awful.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I don't have problems. Someone can be a bad comic and I can still like you. Like, not a bunch of them, especially like people who are try hard, who get better. You can be terrible, and as long as you're cool and you're trying, people will keep putting you on stuff.
Yeah,
right? I'm a bunch of examples of that. Right, but and people get better. So, yeah, it's if you asshole, you can asshole your way out of anything, and his promotion is
don't even give it
anything good about him from anyone. I don't know. No one said anything good about him who's worked for him. Anyone, I don't think so.
Even he's a garbage human being.
Doesn't even if the check did clear for anyone, I didn't hear anything. So.
Just a piece of shit. So there's my 2 cents on that, because I wanted to defend my buddy Daniel, because Daniel's a great guy. He's never been a dick to me. Never. Every time I see him, it's all happiness and smiles, and a prick like fucking Kettler doing what he did, saying what he said.
Right.
You can just go suck a dick, dude.
And also, that's different from what I'm also about to say, because I talked about this before. Is I say it to Ray all the time. If you let little shit bother you, man, you're gonna fizz out, or you're gonna go insane in comedy, right? So, and that's what a lot of these people are doing when they put people on blast, man. There's one little thing that they don't like, they're just going nuts. But this is different, because this guy saying, dude, you don't want to work with this guy. This guy's a monster. He's not a good person.
Yeah,
he's not helping people out. He's not, he's fucking people over. Like, that's different. That's like a heads up. That's different. We're saying like, oh, this guy does jokes I don't like, or this. I'm like, dude, if you let that shit bother you. Or even when Ray texts me and says he gets mad about something, like, Ray, you let this shit bother you, man, you're going to go insane.
This is true.
You should know this enough, right? Like, the comedy's, it's a nuts business full of nuts people.
Yep.
Because we're all nuts. So, what do you expect? But if you let your stupid shit bother you, if you let the fact that someone got a spot over you and you think you're funnier than them, like, dude, what can you control in the situation? Just think about what you can control, Raymond, right? And listen, I have to tell myself that all the time too, and not just in that, in life in general, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, Raymond,
Mm-hmm.
What do I tell you every time? You get mad, you sent me something, you're angry about something. You didn't get up, and you should have got up, or someone else got up instead of you, and you think you're funnier than they are. I'm like, or maybe it's a contest or something. I'm like, dude, what can you control in the situation? All you can control is you being better.
This is true.
All you can control. Right. Every once in a while, it might be something different, but what you're talking about, usually you can only control that.
Oh,
right?
and
Harrison knows this. Is Harrison nodding?
Don't placate him, you son of a bitch. I see you in that window. How dare you?
Dare you? I don't see him in the window. I'm asking if he's nodding in agreement. I never know what his reaction is.
Okay. Me and him have control over the control room, because sometimes he cannot be here, and I then shittily produce this podcast. So it's
right. I never have the control room thing, which is probably good, because I'd probably be like fucking with you. The more drunk I get, I just be like,
you just start typing like, you're a dick, and it's really a banner.
Right.
Oh man. I think though the moral of this story is fuck Chris Kettler. Let's
No,
make
the thing
that.
is, I don't even like to say that because the truth is he hasn't really done anything to me, but he's done stuff to my friends.
Yeah.
So the thing is, when he says he's looking for people to do shows, I ignore it and move on.
I do
Even
too.
if I'm looking for, even he does
I
shows in
block
like
him
Akron,
on.
which
I've
is
already
pretty,
blocked him on Facebook and shit.
like I will do like Akron's a good place for me to go. I like to go to Akron to do shows in Akron. And if it wasn't him running it, I probably would do it, but yeah, I'm gonna pass.
Plus the stuff that he said about Pete and everything.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
It's you can go eat a dick, dude. Like
Right.
that's just sour grapes, in my opinion.
Right. And a lot of people I like a lot of stuff, weird stuff about Pete, but I think it's because they just don't understand him. I've talked about that.
Yeah.
Too. Pete is the owner of the Funny Stuff Comedy Club. I feel like we always have to say that just in case there's anyone paying attention that has no idea what we're talking about, which happens sometimes.
Mhm.
We had some people from other countries listen to us somehow by miracle. And hey, have you realized we have more we've gotten like 4 or 5 more subscribers on YouTube. That's big for us. 4
That's
or 5
huge.
is like 5,000 for most people.
It is. I've noticed that, and thank you guys for doing that.
Especially because that's the only place you can find episodes now.
Pretty much is.
Raymond.
I know. Also, speaking of the funny stop, my weekend, I believe so far with John McClellan has been called off. They will be bringing in a new local comic or whatever.
I'm
But
sorry. So you're going to work still?
he said he was going to give me something else. So,
oh, okay. Well, if you want the same weekend, you can just tell him and he'll
well,
keep it.
there's one that's coming up that he told me about that I want more than anything, and I'll say it right now. It goes to Bill Stone. I'm going to fucking scream at people because
Again, Ray, calm down.
It's a very important person, and I will actually put it in the private chat because it hasn't been announced yet.
Well, then I'm going to text him right now and ask for it. So fuck you. Texting him.
Here, I'm sending in the private chat who it is.
Texting him. All right. Screech is dead, you dick.
Well, it's a Screech hologram. They're gonna put up, and it's gonna be Screech through the years. That's the name of the show. That's how his estate is deciding to honor his memory. Is having me host Screers at the Funny Stop with a hologram Screech.
I can't think of who this guy is. I probably have seen him before. He looks kind of familiar, but
he's one of my favorites, and I want to work with him more than life itself because of who he is, and we'll talk about it off air. But yeah, that to me, that's good.
Well, what does it say when it says people also search for Carlos Mencia and Gary Owen?
Because he's Latino. That's why.
Gary Owen? What's Gary Owen?
Gary Owen. Well, Gary Owen is an improv
white guy
act too.
I'm not a fan of Gary Owen. I don't hate him, but I don't think it's very funny.
Yeah, I don't like it. He's like who's the guy? Rappaport.
He panders. Well, I like Rappaport, but like
Rappaport's good, but
an actor though. Rappaport's an actor.
True.
He does some other stuff, but he's mostly an actor. He's always been mostly an actor.
I like him in Next Friday.
Rappaport?
Yeah.
I've never seen Friday.
Never seen the Friday series?
I think may have seen like the third one for some reason.
Really? Oh, yeah. I love Next Friday.
I never saw I think Friday After Next is the only one I saw.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, such a good series.
I never saw Friday. Yeah, I know. Right now I'm kind of doing it on purpose because I like telling people I haven't seen it because I like seeing my black friends freak out. I will watch it eventually because I mean
your black friend.
What?
You only have one friend, and it's black, and he's a black guy. Willis Gordon, maybe. Okay. Willis likes you.
He counts. Marcus Button, Sean Boyd. Don't we count him out?
Sean doesn't like you. He's just making.
He tells me to be blessed and calls me fam. I love Sean Boyd. I'm actually really happy that he's working again.
Yeah, he had that show at the West Theater, which was I heard was really good.
TJ Miller put him some stuff with him, which is cool. And then he did another weekend just recently, so that's good. I'm really happy because he kind of stopped for a while because he had some personal stuff that was kind of rough for him.
Yeah.
And then he had a kid, so that wasn't the personal stuff that was rough. That was a positive personal stuff. But anyway, he's great. I love him to death. He's one of my favorite people. So and he's a boxing fan too. We need to get him on the show.
Sean Boyd put me. We talk about comics putting comics on blast. he put me on blast for a very good reason. I stuck the girl that I was seeing at the time in the front row at the funny stop and was just like chilling in the back because I didn't want to like go up and sit with her and get called out by Sean. Didn't really go work out in my favor because he immediately was like, "You're with Ray Highclack? Ray, get your fucking ass down here," and made me sit in the front row and just mocked me the entire time.
Yeah, you don't do that. Why would you do that?
I don't know because I
you
just
knew you
didn't
didn't know better. You didn't know better.
I didn't want to be rude.
No, you. I mean, no. I mean, you bring somebody with you. You put them in the back.
That is true. I didn't know that at the
You don't
time.
make
I
them
think I
sit
was
by
like a
themselves
year
in
in.
the front. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah,
Rookie mistakes.
very. I don't make that mistake again.
All right. Also, I miss comedy. Did I tell you that I need to go up this sometime soon.
Well, yeah.
Oh wait, you know what? I'm gonna come up and see you probably.
March
next week.
4th, Aaron Berg.
Thursday. I'll come up that day. I'll try to come up early so I can get up.
Yeah, come see us, Aaron Berg, Joe Howard, who Joe Howard is one of my favorite comics of all time. Just because one, I love a lot of the jokes that he does about his family. The baseball joke that he has is hilarious. Hopefully he does it at the funny stop. And then myself, like I said, and you can, I'm just gonna plug this because I want to work with them one day and be able to say that we have a podcast on this network. But subscribe to Compound Media. They have promo codes. I believe it's each month, and then it's like 20, 1 month 20, 6 month 20, 12 month 20 for 20% off on Compound Media subscriptions. Get a year. It's way cheaper to do it for a year. And you're missing one vital part of my stroke off session. And that's, I like to at least tease the balls going like this. You got to make sure. There you go. You got
Show bomb. Show bomb all over
it's
the
a
windows.
good visual gag, though. It's a very good visual gag.
Tired now.
Good. I hope you just put your shake weight away. It's already like shot some cooling gel on your face. So yeah, there.
So
But yeah, funnystop.com for those tickets. It'll be March 4th through the 6th. Aaron Berg and Comedians of the Compound is coming to Cleveland, I hear. So I'm very excited about that, and hopefully we can get some free tickets for that.
You don't have enough hands for that show, Ray. You don't have enough hands.
Hey, Mr. Dave Landau will be on that show as well. So we got to get Landau on this show. I want Dave Landau on here so bad.
Landau's the best.
He knows Boom Boom Mancini, so he can tell that story.
Okay. Can we just get Boom Boom Mancini on?
He's on Facebook, I think, but I don't know. I'm afraid of him. It's like Pat Miletich.
Listen, Pat Miletich already. The fact that you haven't got hold of Pat yet is ridiculous.
I know,
and I can't because you've been the contact between us and Pat.
I know.
So you have to do it. So you need to do. I don't know why you haven't done it.
I'm afraid. I don't want to scare him off. Because it's like a deer. You
know what happens if we scare him off? The exact same thing that's been happening now. We don't get Pat Miletich on the show, which is what's happening right now. He already said yes to us twice.
I know.
Just call him. Just call him. We've been waiting, and he's less busy now because he got fired.
Mm-hmm. Bullshit firing. And
we'll talk about it if we ever get him on the damn show, Raymond.
For sure.
I love how, like, my brother tells me he'd listen to the show more if it wasn't so much about fighting. I'm like, how, like, we actively try to avoid talking about fighting, but not on purpose. This kind of happens. Like, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it, but we're like, what else do we got first?
Yeah, it's bullshit session
right now. Yeah,
that's what I like about it.
It's right. If we didn't have this, it'd be boring.
Very. Without a doubt it would be. I mean, without our sparkling personalities, it's perfect.
That's what I said, Ray. I told you the other day that if your dream network ever wanted us, we can do all sports. We could do it. It wouldn't be too difficult. I don't think.
Yeah.
Because we don't know that much about fighting either. So we can just we can just pretend like all sports. I don't know. Listen, if the Levitor show can do it, we can do it.
I wanted to show you this because this is kind of cool. I bought some Proper 12 to drink while we're podcasting today, but I did buy this awesomeness. It's a Walking Dead wine. Mm-hmm.
What's with you and gross wines?
It's a Cabernet. I mean, it's more of a spaghetti wine kind of thing, but I liked it because I used to be a big Walking Dead fan, so I saw that and it was like
Well, didn't
$5.99.
everyone who was ever a Walking Dead fan just used to be a Walking Dead fan?
The
Didn't they
TV
go,
I
10
dropped out,
series
man.
yeah, man, everyone did. It's weird, right? I know how often. I mean, that's anytime people are like, man, I wish my favorite TV series would have went longer, but I'm like, it is possible to go too long, right? There you go. Walking Dead, perfect example.
Far too long. I mean, honestly, the war should have been the end of the show, to be honest with you, between Negan and everybody, because that once you get like the big bad, and then the Whisperers.
Honestly, I never watched it. The only time I watched it was when Sean Lynch was supposed to be on it, but he got cut out.
Yeah.
And I believe him because I remember I looked on IMDb and he was on the IMDb for the episode until it aired. And then when it aired, they took him off. So he was supposed to be on it.
Bullshit.
So he was there. And I don't think he would lie to me anyway. And plus, he was on the video game. He was just playing his character from the video game.
Mm-hmm. And that would have been kind of cool to see him on there because we go watch that episode. By the way, it's an awesome episode with Sean Lynch. We did months ago. And I love Sean, love Silky, all the just straight up sexiness that those couple that they are. They're the perfect couple, sir. I need to say that. Like they just love each other. And I wish I could have that in my heart.
Are they?
Hey, I want road gigs, motherfucker. So yeah.
This is the whole episode. It's just been this. I look at the way I look at Quicksilver when I do this with my crappy camera. Look at this.
You're Evan Peters.
Right? Would be funnier if like the guy with super speed was fat. It'd be funny. Right? Oh no, you know what? No, Jessica Jones. They did that on Jessica Jones.
Oh
there was
yeah,
a guy with
didn't
super
they?
speed who was fat. Yeah, that's funny. That was funny. I forgot about that guy.
Oh.
Anyway, all right. Poor Harrison has been sitting back there waiting for us to just ask him to do something or do something productive, and or be funny or something. And he's just been sitting there the whole time. Probably with his dick in his hand, which I wouldn't blame him. I mean,
we are two sexy men.
You got to pass the time somehow. So, all right,
it's true.
We're gonna talk about fights.
Yeah, let's talk about these fights. I watched all of them except for the Spivak knockout.
I'll tell you about that right now.
Yeah, let's talk about the Spivak. You can bring up the event page if you will, Harrison, on the screen share. And then we'll go through these fights one by one.
Is this big Russian dude because they call him a polar bear. He's a polar bear tattooed on his chest. He looks like a polar bear.
Yeah,
he's fighting this dude who came off the contender.
You got to go through the prelims, sir. Yep. There we are, all the way down now.
Yeah, it's at the bottom. We're gonna skip a lot of these, but this is the one we're talking about because I watched it and Ray didn't. Yeah, this Vandera guy. What Spivak did is he does what he does. He took him down. He smothered him the whole time. That's all he did. He smothered him. There's zero offense from Jared at all. He got smothered the whole time, which is, like I said, I do like watching, although it wasn't super fast or super, he didn't really bludgeon him too much, but he did finish him in the second round because he couldn't get up and he couldn't fight back. So there was that, man. He just took him down and smothered him the whole time. This guy had no offense to give. And Sergey Spivak smothered him the whole time and beat him up. So that was it. That's the fight.
I like it. This next one, though, with Draco Rodriguez and Ayman Zahabi. Faraz's little brother is a chip off the old goddamn block, bro. Ayman Zahabi just put Draco Rodriguez oot. It was did you watch this fight?
Yeah, right. He was Zahabi was an underdog and knocked out Draco. That's a great name, Draco Rodriguez. That's
he'll be in the Harry Potter remake.
I was gonna say the same thing. The same thing. That's Mexican Harry Potter. Draco Rodriguez. El Slytherin. All right. Anyway,
yo soy Draco.
That's terrible. All right, anyway,
I'm amazed they could get that much Spanish out.
His brother is a very famous coach up in TriStar in Canada. Buster Monsters up there, and including himself, his brother here, Zahabi. Yeah, I forget how it was. Was it a left hand, right hand? I forget what he got
Left
him with.
hand.
Left hand.
And he shut Rodriguez's lights off with that punch. And at that, I mean, to come with this whole card, and this is something we always talk about on this show, is sleeper cards. This was a card where you didn't know a lot of the fighters. Some of the names as the night went on, you're like, oh, I remember that guy. Oh, I remember that guy. But this all ended in tragedy, at least for somebody, one person each fight on this card.
Well, I knew there was going to be a bunch of heavyweight fights, and I liked them all. They're all finishes. They're fun. Heavyweight fights are fun.
Yeah, and that was the one thing that I liked about this was it was pretty much a finish night. And we'll get to an awkward one in the main card that opened up for how that finish happened in the heavyweight division. But yeah, for Rasahabi taking his brother all the way to the cage, or all the way to the octagon and showing the TriStar is a bunch of savages, dude. And I love him for it.
Zahabi apparently has had some injury issues. It's been like over a year and a half since he fought, so it's good that he got back and got a win. So,
oh yeah, for
way
sure,
to go, brother.
And now let's move on to the former biggest underdog winner of all time in the UFC versus my friend's girlfriend, Casey O'Neill. My friend as a girl or a girlfriend named with the same name. So she was talking in the first person the entire time. And Casey O'Neill, dude, like I'm a fan of hers now after this fight. Really showed a lot of dominance against the girl who came off of a big win in her last UFC fight in Shayna Dobson. Like I said, biggest underdog winner that came in UFC history. But Casey O'Neill just dominated Shayna Dobson this entire fight and wouldn't back down. I mean, straight up Tom Petty. I love it, dude.
This is the most stacked division in the women's division. Women's MMA, right? In the UFC is flyweight. So finally, I think the UFC can just cut Shayna Dobson now. I think they tried to before for whatever reason. They're just like, okay, we need somebody to fight this chick who's 9-1. Let's give her to Dobson. She'll beat Dobson, and we can cut Dobson. But Dobson beat her, right? But now they gave her Casey O'Neill, and Casey O'Neill beat her, so they'll probably cut her now, I'd assume. Although she's tough, and you know she can beat anybody in any given night, apparently. But yeah, I mean she's a losing record. You know she's 4-5, I think, and this is a flyweight division. If she was a featherweight, it'd be different. Put on 30 pounds, and maybe they'll keep you around because they need featherweights. But yeah, I'm assuming she's gonna get cut after this. Yeah,
I mean. And she can always put that on her mantle, that one big win she had in the UFC. But yeah, with the record she has, I think 4-5 now in the UFC, or even just in MMA in general. I think it is. I think it's time for her to either go to Bellator or BKFC. Let's see Shayna Dobson in some bare knuckle fighting. And there's a guy, by the way, for bare knuckle fighting that I need to look up his name, but I saw him on a UFC board that I'm a part of on Facebook. This guy looks like Tiger King. I mean, he's the British. He looks like British Joe Exotic. And there's just a video of him talking about some guy that was associated with him or something. It's weird. And like bare knuckle boxing, I think is starting to get these guys who have just straight up personality, and I love it, dude. Like I'm starting to really get into it, and I mean, you'd have to,
man. If you try to put together a promotion that had bare knuckle boxing, what kind of people would you hire?
Just savages, psychopaths.
I mean, no, it'd be a good 45% pro wrestling, right? Like it would be as far as the kind of characters you're going to try to get. Yeah, you're going to get characters, you're going to get names, you're going to get whoever you can get. Back up the Brinks truck, and they do, and that's what they do, and it's kind of interesting. It's okay. I'm not completely sold on it yet, but it's okay.
And I'm going to start this right now. I'm going to make this an official campaign on our show, and it is Gunther Bare Knuckle. Hashtag Gunther Bare Knuckle, because I want to get John Gunther in a BKFC card. I think that would be an amazing thing. And also, real quick, shout out to Logan Urban at Revolution Fight and Fitness. He's going to be fighting, I believe, early next month Our boy Hunter Watt and also Andrew Law have come up to Revolution in the past couple months to do some training with Logan and Eric Posen and at Revolution. It's good to see those guys working with Revolution for right now and see a 250 like crossover. It's quite nice.
So so Logan has a fight coming up, and we haven't had him on yet, right?
Well, that's gonna be that's on the docket.
Is
sir.
it? Does he know this? Do I have to do everything?
No, I will hit up Logan myself.
You've said this before. You said this.
I will make you a believer.
To me, you know what? You haven't done it yet.
I know. Thanks, Dad. I appreciate it.
Oh, don't blame this on other people.
No, I'm calling you Dad.
No, don't blame this on me.
But yeah, I think that'll be
Drunk Tim gets us all our interviews now.
That yeah, because
he gets them all.
I don't know. Drunk Tim is the best Drunk Tim.
Drunk Tim is most productive. He really is.
He is. But let's move on to our next fight in the UFC. Nate taking on Julian Erosa. And Julian Erosa.
This was the world's most exciting 56 seconds.
I know.
These guys just went full bore for 56 seconds until Rosa knocked him out.
Do you think that was a quick stoppage, or do you
I
think
think it was
perfect?
fine. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, you look at the replay and you see like he definitely looked like he could have been out there for a second. And I usually I don't know how many times since we've done the show I've actually said it was way too quick of a stoppage. Probably not. I'm sure maybe once or twice, but not very often. You know, I usually give the ref a benefit of the doubt because I mean, usually when you see the replay, you can see why they stopped it, right? So if a guy's eyes go down or his head goes down or something, he looks like that, right? Like he's out. But if he bounces back right away, it looks bad. But no, I think it was fine. Was this Mark Smith?
Yes, it was Mark Smith. It wasn't Chris short stoppage Tyone.
No, Chris Tyone, man, is a complete opposite. He gives people more time than anybody, man. He really does. Look at his fights. He gives people more the benefit of the doubt more than anybody. He really does.
I don't know. That one quick stoppage still to this day. Or
which one?
Ball stop it. The ball kick. Wasn't it the ball kick, but it was really
that wasn't a quick stoppage. That was messed up for something else.
So stupid. Hate Chris Tyone.
Well, that's one of the reasons they put the replay in.
This is true.
That they didn't have the replay then. He did like 2 weeks later. It's the Chris Tyone rule, as I call it.
As it should be.
Why not?
Hey,
you know what though? He's not the only one that would have whiffed on that. He's not.
True, but I like
everyone would have, but you know,
because it's just funny now that I continue this bit.
I think he's fine. Now we're never get him on the show. Oh yeah, what about Bobby Wambacher, man? How come we didn't get him back?
I need to hit Bobby up to. If
you know how long you've been talking about saying that? 8 months now.
8 months. I agree.
And actually, literally, it's been 4. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
I don't have to.
Terrible producer.
Again, I'm trying to replace Ray. Harrison, can you just replace
at least
Ray?
Get us the producer. Like somebody that can set up interviews.
Well, we have to do that too. Harrison can't do everything.
Yeah, I was about to say Harrison can't do everything. He's already putting a lot of hard work and time into this show, being our stream producer. Which, again, for everybody, we'll post Harrison's thing. If you ever need a guy to do a really good job on producing your streams or your podcast, Harrison Poole is the guy to do it. He's a dope producer and I love him to death. Every time that he's with us, our show moves a lot more smoothly than it normally does because he's at hire Harrison Poole. God damn it. That's exactly what you should do. Hire this motherfucker because he's fantastic. And I'll show you how fantastic he is when he brings up our next fight and see how quickly there it is. Oh my God. See what he does?
Talk about that one. Rosa. Oh, here we go.
I know, but he was making, yes.
Oh, poor Eddie Weiland, man.
Yeah.
You know, Eddie Weiland he looks good until he gets hit. He just has that old man chin, I guess. I don't know, he's not old, but fighter old. But I mean, before that, man, he looks good. He looks sharp. He looks quick. But then once he gets smacked, and he gets put out. And this dude, Castaneda. Yeah, knocked him out. It's a bummer because, like I said, Eddie Wineland looked pretty good there for a second. I mean, just physically looks good. He looked quick and smooth, and he's a smart guy, smart fighter, knows a lot of shit, right?
He has his hands down way too much. And even though he does bring them up to a certain point, I mean, guys like Castaneda who are really quick with their hands can get through that guard pretty quickly.
When you have a mustache like that, you have to hold your hands at your hips. It's a law.
He does have that sort of like put him up, like he's the cowardly lion in the Wizard of Oz, just like I've got courage. Like that's all he does, and it's still guys in this division can get through that kind of guard. Look at Sean O'Malley when he knocked him out. Sean O'Malley beat the brakes off him with one fist because of the fact that he was so low with his hands. I hate watching fighters like that. You can't have that much confidence. No human being can have that much confidence in their striking and their defense to keep their hands down that all the time like that.
Well, Stephen Thompson, man, but he's only been knocked out once.
Yeah,
ever in like 200 fights or something.
He was so pretty though. Such a pretty Superman punch off the cage by Showtime. Oh, such a pretty knockout. But yeah, Eddie Wineland. I mean, where do you think he goes from here, dude?
I don't know, man. It's up to him in the league. I don't know, man. Listen, the thing is, he is a black belt. Maybe he should just try to, fight a little bit differently, man. Maybe, maybe if his chin isn't quite there, maybe he should try to grapple a bit more. I mean, he has the ability. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how many fights are left on his contract. If that was the last one on his contract, he might be worried. I don't know, though. I mean, they like him. I mean, I like seeing Eddie Wineland fight, but he's been knocked out twice in a row now. I don't like seeing him get knocked out.
No.
So
because I like Eddie Wineland.
We'll see.
Eddie Wineland's the shit. So it's sad.
Great mustache.
Oh, fantastic. I wish I could grow up. It's a very, there's only a few people I've ever met that really pull off a great mustache. Nicolai Gianti, who's a local fighter, John Gunther with his epic stash, and then Raleigh Fingers. Those would be my three for sure that I look at or Dustin Hoffman and Hook.
Is that his real mustache though?
I hope it is.
You say you don't know. You can't really, it's in a movie. You don't know. Right?
Yeah, but
Wilford Brimley, he
had
a good brush stash.
Oh yeah, so he looked like he could play for the Oakland A's in 1985. It was really nice. But even though that movie was a little weird, it does happen.
Which movie?
But yeah, man.
Hook?
What?
Hook. I was talking about Wilford Brimley. They're talking about Cocoon.
No, Hook. Dennis Hoffman.
Oh, gotcha.
When he played Captain Hook in that just beautiful curl that he had on his mustache.
Yeah, it's probably fake.
Oh, why are you breaking the fourth wall, sir? Why are you pulling the WandaVision episode 7?
You need to be you need to be brought back to reality. And stop doing that, Ray. Stop ruining TV. Oh, Ray, I saw
it was Ray Highclack all along.
Fuck you. Ray, you're getting worse, man. Ray's the worst. New banner. Ray's the worst. Hit it up, Harrison. Anyway, I saw a good movie on Netflix last night. Have you seen I Care a Lot? That's pretty good. Watch that. It's good.
No, I haven't even heard. I like the song "We Care a Lot" by who does that song? The guys that did Epic.
Not the same. Faith No More.
That's it.
No, different. This is about a lady who has a scam going where she gets old people to become their wards, and she bleeds them dry of their money or whatever. But then then there's a lady she gets that she got the wrong lady. Shit goes sideways. It's a good movie.
There was a movie on, I think it was Amazon Prime, that was sort of like the Gypsy Rose Lee scenario. Are you familiar with Gypsy Rose?
That's on Hulu. That's
Hulu.
It's a TV show. It's called The Act. I haven't seen the show yet. I saw the documentary.
That's why
I can't watch the show. I can't watch the show because the documentary is so disturbing.
Oh my God, the 2020 on Gypsy Rose is insane too, because it's just
she's still in jail.
Yeah,
because she didn't get you got 4 years or something, right?
Something like that. But I mean, with their
we're talking about something. If you don't know what we're talking about, I think is it called Mommy Dearest or something like that, or Mommy Dead and Dearest is the name of the documentary. The Act on Hulu. The Act is the name of the show on Hulu.
I'm thinking of something. There was like a movie with the girl from what's it called? American Horror Story. She played Dot in the conjoined twin. Can't remember her name. But it was a movie like that where like
what is her name?
she's like dating an old broad.
It's gonna drive me nuts.
Yeah, she's dating like a 60-year-old or something like that. She's a lesbian.
She's not in that. She was in the
Sarah Paulson.
Thank you, Harrison. Sarah Paulson. Yeah, no, she's in the Nurse Ratched show. She's in that.
Yeah.
But no, she's not in that. No, she's not in the act. The act was
but there's a movie with her in
the
it.
Arquette lady. What's her first name? Patricia Arquette.
Patricia. Okay.
Is in the act.
That's a. I loved Patricia Arquette in Little Nicky. I thought that was she.
Yeah, I forgot she was a Little Nicky. Yeah.
I love Little Nicky. That's a movie. I watched it on Netflix when it was on there, and the power went out halfway through. I'm like, oh, it's the work of the devil.
Yeah, it's the Lord telling you not to watch this terrible movie. Actually,
hey, that is an awesome movie.
I like Little Nicky. It's one of the most ridiculous movies. Like, yeah,
Popeye's chicken is fucking awesome.
Adam Sandler's done some pretty ridiculous movies. Another one was Jack and Jill, but Jack and Jill is unwatchable. Little Nicky is funny.
Little Nicky's awesome. I Love You, Chuck and Larry, or I pronounce you Chuck and Larry, is a great.
That one has not aged well.
No,
you watched that one, you were like, "Oh man, I'm forever laughing at this movie." Actually,
I love that movie. It's a silly. Love is a circle, is not a square. And it's Rob Schneider being totally racist.
How come Rob Schneider hasn't been canceled for playing 8,000 foreigners?
I honestly think it's if what's her name? Elle King, I think his daughter's name.
Mm-hmm.
If Elle King wasn't popular, I don't think anybody would care what Rob Schneider has to say, because that's his like daughter.
Does anyone care what he has to say now?
Oh my God,
he had to remind people that he was her father in his last stand-up special. Apparently. I just saw that because they did a song together.
But he has gone totally right wing. Like,
has he?
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Like,
the guy that plays a bunch of ethnic people in his different movies as a white man. Yeah,
and a manstitute. He was a manstitute as well in
right.
The
but I like Deuce Bigelow. That's an okay movie. All right, that's I got to cancel him for that one. You're gonna cancel him for him playing, Asian people and Arab people.
And Hawaiian people.
Yeah, sure.
50 First Dates. Yeah. Rob Schneider, I mean, some of the stuff that he said, and I can send you some videos.
I'd rather you not, so please don't. You will anyway. You always do.
I always do. I sent you, what did I send you the other day? Oh, I sent you the Randy Travis Tyson Fury song. Guarantee you didn't listen to that.
I did not, no.
Okay, yeah, we can survive without you for a second, buddy. Harrison's going to probably pee. He's had too much water. But
he's taking a nap because we're boring as hell.
We're the worst podcast in America and probably the universe. So
possibly, yeah.
Make sure to like, share, and also leave a comment on how much we suck. Anywhere, we'll read them because we need people, and we need validation, guys. We need validation for life.
Yeah, man. It's about the time I feel like we need to just quit the podcast and give up.
That's just the alcohol talking.
That's probably true. The thing is, we're stubborn. Also, we're lazy and stubborn. That's a weird combination, isn't it? Being lazy and stubborn. It's like, no, we're not going to quit. We're just going to do an episode whenever I feel like it, which is not very often, but we're going to do it still.
We're the loitering bums of podcasts. We're sort of motivated to survive, but when it comes right down to it, we'll sit in front of your restaurant that only seats 20 people. Like, we don't give a fuck.
Thank you to Andrew Sherman, who
Andrew Sherman.
Who believes
that's the man right there, dude.
That's one.
We've gotten the like we need because we're awesome. And let me see if there's any comments while Harrison is away waiting for.
They're
There
good.
is a comment actually. I believe in you guys.
That's what I
See,
was talking about. What did you think I was talking about?
because
We're talking
I
about
saw
that.
the like. Only saw the like. I
Oh.
have to actually show the comment on thing. But thank you, Andrew. You're an awesome guy.
That's what I was just trying to say.
Known Andrew for you.
This is why we're terrible podcasts.
We are an awful podcast.
Oh, for a second there, I thought you
ourselves.
cut out for a second. I thought you drop kicked your power line again.
If that would have happened, I would have just called the podcast. I mean, like, I'm going to bed. Have a good night, guys. Oh man, but let's talk about the other. But we can't bring it up. But it was a decision win for let me bring this up again.
Real good. What fight we talking about?
We are talking about the Jared Gordon versus Danny Chavez fight. This is
what happened. Again, one of our terrible podcasts. I didn't watch this one.
No, Harrison's here. Harrison's back. That's why the comment showed up. But let's talk about this feature bout.
We talked about it already. Okay. Okay. Was it good? I didn't watch it.
I mean, it was definitely the happy ending to the massage that was this fight. They were back and forth, or the prelims back and forth. Jared Gordon gets the decision. It was a decent one. I believe one of the judges had it 28-28. There was a card on or a match on here that did have an even thing. There was a majority decision, and I believe it was this one. But yeah, I mean, it was a great fight for what it was, and Jared Gordon earned the win by decision. And let's move on to the main card because I want to talk about this.
Moving on.
I have feelings about Andrei Arlovsky, and also feelings about Tom Aspinall.
Well, Andrei Arlovsky, dude. I mean, he is getting old. However, the thing is, if you didn't know he was 43 and had a billion fights, you wouldn't be asking for him to retire, Ray. Like, you just know he is. The thing is, he looked fine. He looked good. The thing is, Aspinall, and that was the second round.
Yeah,
he caught him off guard by getting a takedown. Arlovsky didn't do that, and he got the choking real fast, and Arlovsky tapped real fast, and then was very pissed at himself. I believe he said, "Fuck." That was a quote. Because Arlovsky, dude, he fucked up. He did fuck up. Like, he knows better. He said so many fights, like, he should not have let that happen the way it did. That's why he was angry at himself, because he screwed up. He should not have let that choke. He should have been able to fight that choke off. He's fought off a lot of chokes. He's fought so many people, right? He knows how to defend that. He just didn't. Aspinall caught him off guard with the double leg, took him down and sank it in so fast that Arlovsky just stepped and wasn't paying attention, and it got in there. So yeah, Arlovsky just screwed up. He screwed up.
Yeah,
but good for Aspinall for catching him off guard. But no, besides that, Arlovsky looked fine, man. I think he looked fine.
Oh, I'm not saying that he needs to retire. I'm just saying more or less like
he is 43 or something.
I mean, I think he's got at least 2 more fights in him. I want to at least see him get one more pay-per-view card before he retires, because I think that's a good send-off for him. Even if I don't care if it's a main event of a fight night. I don't care if it's the opening like tonight or like this card where he opened up the main card. I just want to see him on the main card and then have his gloves in the middle of the octagon if he wins or loses after 2 more fights. That's all I want to see.
Man, you know who I have for? I have a good idea just now in my head. Boom. If he's going to have one more fight, boom, got an idea. Ready? Drum roll. Greg Hardy, Andrei Arlovsky. I like that fight. I like that fight. That'd be a good fight.
No matter how I felt, I would bet on Arlovsky and root for Arlovsky in that one. Because
yeah, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Arlovsky would try to take Hardy down, just seeing how bad he is at the ground.
And his cardio, how dog dick it is. Yeah.
I mean, the only time he has a chance is if he stays on the feet. So maybe, but I think everyone knows that now. So I can see about everyone that he fights trying to do that. Unless it's somebody who just, I don't know, like a Tafa or somebody who just only has stand up. So I don't know.
Yeah, and hats off for Tom Aspinall to actually like understand where he was enough to be like, oh, he's not really doing anything. I'm just gonna sink this off of when he's really looking the other way, because Arlovsky got caught looking. I mean, he was over here and then he just slipped that neck under or that arm underneath.
Right.
It was weird. It was weird to watch. I mean, he could have just stood up, and it possibly could have helped him out, but
he knew. I mean, listen, if a guy who's had as many fights as Andre Arlovski, when he knows, he knows. So I'm assuming he knew. He knew it was in. He knew he couldn't do anything. He knew it was in tight. But good for Aspinall for being able to catch a guy like that off guard. I think really Arlovski just screwed up. He screwed up and he caught him off guard. I mean, it's not that he's. Yeah. I mean, listen, most of the time he's going to be able to defend that. But he just is the last thing he expected, and good for Aspinall for going for it for the double leg and then the choke real fast. I think what happened is he was so surprised that the double leg was happening and trying to get up that he wasn't even thinking about the fact that his chin was up. And then Aspinall was able to sink his arm in there and get a good choke. So good for Aspinall, man. This is another tough dude. He's another one of these young tough dudes in the heavyweight division. I think he's only like 27 or something. So
yeah, he's definitely going to be a good. And I like how he was like 5 years from now I will be UFC champion. I can see him fighting for the title in 5 years for sure. Especially after this win and how dominant he looked in that second round. I mean, he could definitely be a contender. Do I think he could be a world champion? Possibly, but anything can happen in the UFC. But like to have this win in your cap, it has to be a wonderful feeling for Tom Aspinall.
Sure, man. Yeah, I mean, just talking about a former champion. It's been so long ago since he was champion, we kind of forget about it. But yeah, the former champion and a dude
back in the roids days.
Yeah, and the dude that we thought was done so many times, and he comes back and starts winning fights again.
Yeah.
So that's because he has so much damn knowledge, which is why I would think it was super surprising the way, to me at least, the way he lost, because he just got caught in something he should not have been caught with. That's why he was so angry at himself, right? If a guy outclasses you, it's one thing, but when you know you really screwed up, you're angry, and that's when you shout fuck after you lose. Because Andre Arlovski knew he just straight screwed up.
My old man used to have a great saying, you fucked up, you trusted yourself. And Arlovski definitely got that moment in the darkness. Well, Tom Aspinall got the moment in the sun. Let's move on.
That's funny. My saying is you fucked up. You trusted Ray Highclock Jr.
This is true. Well, no, it's the second, not Junior.
Second?
Fucker.
Okay, the second. It's the same thing. Is that not the same thing?
Kind of, but like my mom didn't want a Junior.
All right.
So
all right, your new nickname is Junior.
Nope. It's Little Ray. Thank you. Because it's what I also call my penis besides the octagon. Everybody. Yeah, let's move on to Phil Hawes versus Nasruddin Imavov.
I didn't watch this one either, man. I didn't watch this fight. I didn't watch the decisions.
Phil Hawes definitely had the control during this fight. A lot of control time, as you can see. 4 takedowns for Phil Hawes. And even in the third round, it was pretty much all Hawes. You could say that Phil Hawes Hawesed a way to win and made everything.
Oh, Ray, you know what? I'm gonna start drop kicking my power cord.
You can't. There's no way you hasn't heard of Phil Hawes. How about that?
Hashtag replace Ray Highclock.
The second. 2. Make sure to put that Roman numeral in.
2, like Rocky 2.
Except a way less better outcome.
I saw a list. I didn't see the whole list because, like, it was on Facebook. It was one of those clickbait things, and I clicked on it because I wanted to see someone's list of their top 30 sports movies of all time. This list was terrible. I didn't look at the whole thing because it kicked me off of it. Does that ever happen to you when you look at a clickbaity thing on Facebook?
When it goes into like an advert or like a spinny wheel kind of thing or one of those.
I don't know. So I'll be looking at it, all of a sudden it just kicks me back to my feet without me touching anything. Anyway.
Oh, well, it just doesn't like you then.
Maybe, but I didn't finish it. I was going to go through the whole thing again, right?
It was probably
they had Creed over Rocky, which made me very angry.
Ew.
So when I know, right? When I saw that, I'm like, and there's a bunch of weird examples of that too. They had Icarus very low. If you're counting documentaries, Icarus has. I mean, what sports documentary is better than Icarus? There's a lot of really great ones. I'm a big fan of sports docs, and there's a lot of great ones. There's a lot of great 30 for 30s on ESPN. Their series. There's a lot of great. ones. But Icarus is number one. The fact that Brian Fogel fell into that story and the story in general, and they got the guy, whistleblower, and the guy is literally to this day in hiding and under security. He can't even go out. They won't even get him a dog.
Icarus,
for security reasons. Like it's nuts.
Icarus is one of those documentaries that's just so mind-blowing. Once you see all the evidence that they have, what's going on in the documentary, it probably is one of the greatest sports documentaries of all time. My favorite sports documentary is actually Harvard beats Yale. I think it's 26-26 or 29-29.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
That's a neat one. Yeah.
Just because you see like captains and titans of industry, and then all of
Tommy
a sudden,
Lee Jones.
Yeah. Talking about Al Gore playing I Wish I Was in Dixie on a touchstone phone at the end. That's a nice little like story to have. But and then like who's the guy that dated what's her face?
I don't know, Ray.
There's an actress. There's an actress that they talk about where it wasn't Sybil Shepherd, but it was somebody like a blonde of that era. And like, I guess Tommy Lee Jones was on the same football team as this guy and would talk about like this actress with this guy and all this kind of stuff. And I can't remember what the name of it was. They used their photos in the documentary.
Yeah, I saw it. I just don't remember.
Oh, it's such a good documentary about just like the weirdest subjects ever.
Yeah,
Ivy League football.
There's a lot of really, really great ones.
Oh yeah,
sports docs. One of my favorite 30 for 30. I think maybe that. When I say favorite, I mean it's not the one I can watch over and over, but it's definitely I think probably the best one. That's the two Escobars.
Yeah,
that one's great. The reason I can't watch it over and over is because it's subtitled, and like once you see a movie once and you watch the subtitles, you're like, I don't know if I want to watch this for a second time and read the subtitles. But it's great.
I like the obviously I like the Ric Flair one. Ric Flair one's pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't finished that one yet. I started watching it.
I like the Vern Gagne stories because if you know anything, and we had Dr. Jerry Graham on here, and go check that episode out as well on Facebook. It'll be posted soon to all the other stuff.
We've heard that before.
Now you're just sounding like my girlfriend. Stop it.
Yeah, well, that's basically our relationship now, except for the doing it.
Well, yeah. Well, I was about to say you'd totally be the bottom in that.
Less doing it.
And then, fuck the I can't remember the Detroit one about the Bad Boys. I like that one. I'm a big Bad Boys basketball fan, just because of how violent that team really was. And I'm trying to think of the one guy that used to be on Best Damn Sports Show Ever.
Tom Arnold.
What?
John Staley.
Yeah, that's I liked how he was like, yeah, we were just the most brutal dudes ever. Like we didn't care.
Yeah, and you can do that back then in basketball, which is pretty cool. And there's another one about the old Flyers, Philadelphia Flyers, kind of the
Broad Street Bullies one. Yeah,
Broad Street Bullies. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones, man. Requiem for the Big East is really good. Believe Land is obviously really good.
Believe Land.
They added, after the Cavs one, they added a little bit at the end there. The version 2.0, they added something about the Cavs winning because when they didn't win, when they first came out, it came out like a month after that they won the title. That's great. There's a bunch of them. The last one I watched was that one about that weird race in Mexico or something like that. That's a good one too. I can't remember the name of it. I don't know, man. They're all good. The Lance Armstrong one's good because all the Lance Armstrong documentaries are good because that guy's that guy's a
dick.
That's one way to put it. Yeah.
And then Long Gone Summer. That one, like it made me realize sports fandom is exactly how I've always thought of sports fandom. It's the same way with politics. Like it's okay when it's your guy, but when it happens to when it happens against you, all of a sudden you're the fucking victim and everything is wrong and fucking shitty. Go fuck yourself, Mark McGuire.
Well, that's this thing. Like, I don't know. You're kind of a Steelers fan. What do you think about James Harrison? Like, You love James Harrison if he plays on your team, but you hate, and not just, I mean, he's just one example. There's a lot of
I like James Harrison as a player way too much to like shit on him.
I give him credit for being a
great
Kent State
linebacker.
guy. He's a Kent State guy. And, he was at the Funny Snap once. I don't know why he came in. Just came in randomly, and I wasn't there. And I was very disappointed.
I would have died if James Harrison walked in and I was there. Because my number...
I don't know who was there. He just came in.
He used to wear my number in the Steelers back when I was like in youth hockey. I was 92. So I like always loved James Harrison because like we wore the same number and shit. So I will always love James Harrison. Plus the Super Bowl win or wins that we had were just fantastic.
That's the thing. I'm a Browns fan, so I hate James Harrison. That's the point. I mean, there's a lot of guys like that. Dude, Matthew Dellavedova was like that when the Cavs were good. Everybody said he was like the dirtiest player in the NBA. I'm like, what? What are you watching? Are you watching the same players? I mean, he plays hard, but he's dirty. What does that mean? No one says about him anymore. But
being a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, Sidney Crosby is like
the biggest
Genghis Khan in a lot of people's fucking Genghis Khan and Hitler on their most popular list. And I hate his rival Alexander Ovechkin. Like I despise that guy.
From the outside looking in, dude, you see Ovechkin. He looks like an everyman. He's a working man. All right, Crosby's a pretty boy, pretty rich, pretty boy. I'm just saying what it looks like from the outside looking in. Not a fan of either of them. That's what it looks like. You got one guy missing a tooth. He's rugged and nasty. Right? He's a real man. You got Crosby. He's a pretty butch boy.
He is a star.
Pretty rich boy.
And one of the greatest players of his era. He just actually made his 1,000th game, which was awesome.
Didn't they just make rules so you couldn't hit him?
No. Fucking he's not Tom Brady.
Nah.
Tom Brady is that. They make special rules for that fucking asshole, even though he did break Bill Belichick's heart, which I love. Anytime a piece of the hoodie dies, it's a happy day for me. So
right, let's get through these fights. I'm hungry.
All right. If Harrison, if you could pull these up. Alexei Oleinik.
This is a guy who might be done.
Yeah. Yeah. I watching this fight, I mean, Dacus just looked like a monster in this. And fuck, man. He fucked Alexei Oleinik up, sir. And I think, it's time for the Anaconda to kind of go into the water and lay some eggs. Like I think
probably, man, he's 44 and he's probably a lot better grappler than a lot of these guys still. But got to get him down, and these guys can punch him in the face. And Chris Dacus tried
to pull guard, but just didn't work.
Yeah, Dacus punched him in the face. So I mean,
hard.
Listen, these guys, even the younger guys, know enough to not let you. I mean, what am I trying to say? It's not going to be easy. They know enough that it's not going to be super easy for you to get them down and get them in bad spots, right? Listen, if they play your game, you're going to win it. But they're smart enough to not play your game and how to get out of basic positions. So, that's what Dacus did. Or was able to stuff his takedowns and beat him up. And they stopped it when he was standing, but he was also on the fence. There's a lot of times people complain about refs stopping fights when the guys are still on their feet. Like 8 out of 10 of those, maybe 9 out of 10 of those guys their backs are against the fence.
Yeah,
their fence is holding them up, right? Every once in a while, you get one in the middle of the cage. Not often, but it happens, but not as much. Usually, it's their back is against the cage when they're on their feet still.
Yeah, and I mean Chris Dacus. I mean, he showed how much of a power puncher he is at heavyweight, and I like the fact that this kid is coming up when it comes to like taking on big fighters like this. And Alexei, I mean, he made his debut in 2002 in the United States. So, I mean, he's been fighting forever. And he's had 2 out of the last 3 Ezekiel chokes in the UFC. I think he had the first one in UFC history. So
he went for it again. He tried it.
I mean, he has a lot of awards. So he did. It just didn't work. Let's move on to Charles Rosa versus Derrick Minor. This one went to a decision. And obviously Derrick Minor ended up dominating this fight with Charles Rosa. What'd you think about it?
Yeah, Minor looked good, right? He wasn't supposed to win this fight, was he? I don't remember.
No, I think he
but
was the underdog in this.
Yeah, he
one.
looked good. That's why I said, too bad you didn't go to Vegas a week later. We got to parlay some of these underdogs.
Oh fuck yeah!
Right? I think the 3 underdogs in a row won this one. So,
Mm.
yeah, man, he looked good. I don't know what else you want me to say. What do you got?
Nothing except for Derek Minor definitely proved that he deserves to get a little bit higher talent than Charles Rosa, and Charles Rosa is a motherfucker, but at the same time, I mean, Derek Minor wanted it more. I want to talk about this one though.
This one was interesting.
Yeah, Yana Kunitskaya versus Ketlin Vieira, and Yana just I don't know what she took. I don't know how she did this, but she looked like an animal in this fight, and I liked it. It was a good finish. Thought she deserved the win, and definitely got it over 3 rounds. What'd you think, Timmy?
She took herself some Thiago Santos. That's what she took.
Fuck
Big dose of them. Big dose of them. That worked.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. So what was her name? Vieira. She looked good in the first round, right? Out grappled her. Second round, Yana came on strong, looked good. And then the third round was weird, right? The third round was weird because Vieira had her in what you would call bad spots. However, who was busier? Yana was busier. She was, you know. So we talked about this a couple weeks ago with the Fight Island cards. There was some judges that didn't give anybody credit for positioning. That's one thing, but like this was different because somebody was busy and somebody wasn't busy, right? I mean, you can get somebody in a bad spot, but if someone's actually working and someone else is just laying on top of you, right? Who's really winning the round or who's really winning that position, really? Right? And then at the end, the last 30 seconds, 40 seconds, Yana kind of teed off on her. If she had another 30 or 40 seconds, she may have finished her. So, I don't know. Fitzgerald, the commentator, seemed a bit surprised, but I thought Yana won the fight. And it bit surprising because from what we have been taught, as fans, is a lot of times if you just have good position, you're winning the fight no matter if you do damage or not. But it's changed it a little bit, and that's fine. That's fine because at this point, the more damage in that third round was definitely done by Yana.
Yeah,
and then she got the third round and she got the win. So yeah, I liked it. It was good. Another underdog winner.
it was fun. It was a good fight.
It was a really good fight.
But let's if you could let's take this down real quick and bring up the video. I posted for our video today, and I think it was apropos. I think we watched a murder technically with this punch. So if you could play that for us, let's just break this down. This was rough.
Well, this is what Derrick Lewis is waiting for, right?
Oh, and then boom.
Right.
Those 2 shots
on his heels, waiting for Curtis Blaydes to shoot, and then he shot.
These guys have been on each other's radar,
and he gets that giant, big black beast uppercut of his.
You heard that pop too, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
That pop was like, holy balls, bro! Jesus Christ! And we talked about it before we came on, or we talked about it earlier in the episode. I mean, Derrick Lewis said it in the post-fight interview that he needed to wake up a little bit. If that's Derrick Lewis at like 50 or 40%, I feel bad for the heavyweight division because imagine that guy waking up and being as like laser focused as a hurricane moving into Houston, Texas.
Well, he did what he knew he needed to do. He needed to wait for the shot and go knee or uppercut, and he went uppercut. And when in the second round, when Curtis Blaydes shot, he stuffed him, man. He got, he knew he was going to make it difficult. We talked about that. His takedown defense is getting better, and we talked about if it was within 3 rounds, he had a pretty good shot. If it went to the 4th or 5th round, he'd be in trouble, and he got it done in the second round. He looked awesome, man. Even for someone who was asleep, which I did say to you earlier, he did look like he was asleep to me. I thought that when he was walking, he was walking out. But I mean, good for him, man. I mean, Blaydes looked really good in that first round. For whatever reason, he wasn't like power shooting. He was kind of trying to stand on the outside a little bit. I don't really know why. He looked fine. He won the first round, but then Lewis stuffed that first takedown in the first round. And when he came in again, Lewis timed it great. And dude, we already knew they had crazy knockout power. And I'm pretty sure I said it last episode because of the 2 losses to Ngannou that, yeah, although he is a great wrestler, he's very knockoutable. Curtis Blaydes. And that's what happened. Because Ngannou did it to him twice, and Lewis did it with this nasty uppercut. And yeah, he was keeled over. He was in the crouch position, the shot position, as he get knocked out, and he just fell over to his side. And yeah, he looked like he was dead. If he wasn't dead then Derrick Lewis gave him 2 more. And then he blamed Herb Dean for it, which is pretty hilarious. But you know what? In all reality, man, I mean, yes, it would be nice if everybody would just stop when they thought somebody was out. But really, it's on the ref. And Herb Dean took him a second to get over there, so he gave him 2 more.
Yeah, I mean, but like, here's the thing about it is sometimes, and we've talked about this in the past episodes, and I've talked about this with a lot of MMA friends as well. I mean, late hits are late hits. I mean, they happen. Obviously, when you saw in that clip, Curtis Blaydes just shoulders drop down, and you knew he was done once you heard that. I don't think have you ever fallen on your head while rolling before?
Well, I mean, I got thrown on my head from judo.
Okay, so you know that gong sound that your head will make sometimes off of like the mats because you land directly on your dome.
Gong? Well, I'd be like a thump. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's something.
It sucks. It's a horrible feeling. I've had it a few times while rolling. And when that smack, that bone on bone shot, I knew it was over. I missed the live shot. I had to watch it on the replay, but still watching him and getting that thing where it's just bone on bone, it's over, son. And you just hear like that pop sound. It's the worst feeling ever. But at the same time, when you see a guy like Derrick Lewis who has that ability to just shut a light out, I love Derrick Lewis. He's one of my favorite heavyweights because of the fact that he just he has the light switch and he does not care to turn it off. And I love that about him.
Yeah, we talked about it before, man. We picked him. We did pick him. And we love Derrick Lewis. This is the new question now is what's next for Derrick Lewis. And here's the answer, Red. Do you want the answer? Because I have it.
What do you have?
He's going to fight whoever loses the fight between Stipe and Ngannou UFC 260. Because the winner of that fight is going to fight John Jones. So the loser of that fight is going to fight the next contender, which is now Derrick Lewis. I mean, the next guy under Lewis would be Volkov, but he's already beat Volkov. So it's going to be Lewis and either Stipe or Ngannou, whoever loses that fight, possibly on the same card. They may do it on the same card.
He did talk about fighting Alistair Overeem as well, which I think would be a nice little.
I mean, okay, if something happens and they want to wait long, I don't know. If he doesn't want to wait, I don't know. It just makes a lot of sense that he's going to fight the loser of the Stipe Ngannou fight.
Oh yeah, I think honestly that's your next move after John Jones is. And I said this on Saturday to my buddy John while we were watching together. Honestly, there is no other contender after John Jones. I mean, Derrick Lewis is
a 4-man race
guy.
now. Yeah, it's a 4-man race. We were talking about this a few fights ago with the before Volkov fight. But because Volkov won and Lewis already beat Volkov, it's a 4-man race right now, and then Volkov's right in the outside.
Yeah, but Derrick Lewis just stamped.
Well, you know what?
Ticket.
Jeez, I
Derrick
forgot.
Lewis
Ray.
just stamped his fucking ticket.
I forgot about next week. We got Rosenstrick and Gone. They're right there too. So maybe one of them is going to fight.
Still needs
Volkov. Well, not if he beats Rosenstrike. He's good if he beats Rosenstrike. He's right there. Probably Volkov, then Volkov, and whoever wins that fight.
I mean, I can see it.
Yeah, no, but Lewis is ahead of those guys right now for sure. But but yeah, it's those 4 guys, and the looking in is going to be Volkov and whoever wins the Gone and Rosenstrike fight.
Yeah.
And then very possibly Volkov and the winner of Volkov and the winner of that fight. If that hasn't happened already. I don't know. I don't think either of those fights have happened yet. I know the Gone fight hasn't happened yet. Gone and Volkov hasn't happened. I don't think Rosenstrike has happened.
I still think though that Derrick Lewis he sort of I always compare anytime you have a massive knockout like that, you Rumble Johnson your way into a title shot. I mean, that fight reminded me, minus the tooth getting knocked out, of Glover Teixeira versus Anthony Johnson. I mean,
Anthony Smith.
Anthony Johnson.
What?
Anthony
talking
Rumble
about two different
Johnson versus
fights?
Glover Teixeira at light heavyweight, where he knocked out, or Anthony Johnson knocked out Glover Teixeira's tooth.
Oh, I was talking about Dovis Teixeira knocking out Anthony Smith's tooth.
No, I'm talking about
Okay.
Anthony Rumble Johnson and
Well,
how
that's an honest
impressive
mistake
that
because
knockout
we're talking
was.
about two guys named Anthony and get somebody getting a tooth knocked out against Dovis Teixeira.
This is true, but I was more talking about Anthony Rumble.
Okay. Well, you know what's funny when Derrick Lewis got his title shot, he's because he had the worst fight in the history of fights and he won, which is still weird. I mean, I still want to see
That's not on
Ngannou
him,
Lewis.
though.
It was partly on him. Him and
I
Ngannou.
mean-
It was both not just on him. It was 50-50. They were both terrible.
I would say it's more 70-30 Ngannou on that fight because he was still afraid to do anything after Stipe just
Lewis
shower
just said
scenes
that
him.
he was more asleep in that fight than any other fight, and he didn't attack either. He could have attacked. He didn't.
Yeah, agreed.
most
But you
people
go
would have
against a guy
attacked.
like
Well, the point is
Ngannou.
they both sucked, and I don't think it will happen again. So if if Ngannou loses to Stipe and has to fight Derrick Lewis, then I'm excited for that fight. Although the first
yeah.
fight was terrible, I still don't think it'll be terrible again. It'd be
That
very
was probably
surprised if it
the
was terrible.
worst UFC heavyweight fight ever.
I
Like,
can't remember a worse fight. Period.
there were some GSP fights that were pretty bad. After he got knocked out and got the title back.
There's no way they were that bad. Like the Koscheck fight, no way it was that bad.
Well, Koscheck just made the fight bad himself by feigning injuries and acting like a pussy.
Right, it wasn't great, but it wasn't that bad. I mean, I think there was like 14 strikes in that fight. I forget the number. It was silly.
It was disturbing. It was bad.
Let me do one more quick look at news here.
Oh, right.
See if we missed anything. Okay, last time we did, right? We had the Muhammad and Leon Edwards fight.
I do have some breaking news from today, by the way.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Is it Invicta? I just saw this.
No, but it's a
UFC
personal
Fight
thing.
Pass will no longer feature Invicta FC events. Really? That's a bummer.
Ooh.
I like Invicta.
Yeah,
You know what? UFC is sexist. Boom, throwing it out there. They don't give a shit about Megan Anderson. They don't give a shit about Invicta. Sexist. Actually, you know what? What I'm saying right now actually kind of has legs. I don't know why they get rid of Invicta, but the Megan Anderson thing still pisses me off.
I mean, sometimes the broads don't deserve the thing, you know. I mean,
calm
it's all
down,
about
big business, Ray Hyclef. Calm down, big business, Ray Hyclef.
Sometimes these women need to be rattling around pots and pans rather than rattling around their fists. They're too ladylike.
All right, Stephen A. Smith.
Conor McGregor is the best MMA fighter.
He didn't
but
show us anything.
Floyd Mayweather is the best boxer.
All right,
on
what
the
are you saying?
planet.
What's your breaking news? Go.
My breaking news that I found out today, this afternoon.
You got fired.
I gotta. No, I still have a job, and I'm gonna be passing out after I post the episode 56.
Yeah, sure you are. You have chlamydia.
No, I haven't. Luckily, nothing's burnt yet. Nothing
Okay.
is burned in the past 2 weeks or a week and a half. Took a COVID test.
You have COVID.
I'm negative for COVID.
That's the breaking news. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I got my test. It took like 5 days for me to follow up, just because I didn't hear anything. Like I didn't hear anything, so I assumed I was negative, and I was like high and paranoid this afternoon because I had today off from work, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna call and see if I have the vid. Let's see if I have the vid, and no vid after being in Vegas for 6 days. So everybody, we're opening soon. Yay! Ohio doesn't have a curfew anymore.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. How are you? How do you feel about that shit?
Oh, fine. Although I did kind of like the excuse to like go home early and not do anything. I did like that excuse, right? Look, we're just curfew, bro. However, COVID is still a really good excuse. I left my brother's birthday party Saturday early because number one, I wasn't feeling great, but also like that there was like 30 people there. I'm like, there's too many people here. I'm out.
Was it outdoors or indoors?
Well, indoors, and then the porch, they just covered the porch up with a tarp so they could basically it wasn't as cold, put a heater in there. So yeah, it was like indoors and a half. So yeah, it's all right.
I hope we win the contest, by the way. That would be
Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. The UFC contest.
yeah.
We're not gonna win it, but that'd be great.
It would be fun. It would be fun because I think I'd make us t-shirts to wear in the actual like chairs that they have. Did you see those chairs and everything that they had set up?
I know. I was looking at that because there's like a couch and there's stuff. There's snacks. I'm like, where's the booze? And there's gonna be a problem. Every time something happens, it's gonna be Ray and I screaming at each other and then like throwing shit at the octagon. Ah!
Where's our proper 12 bottle? There's a Conor McGregor plush, but there's no fucking proper 12.
We're gonna get kicked out. That'd be amazing.
That would be the greatest.
Like I said, they're probably gonna pick kids, like a single mom and her son.
I would hope.
No, they should pick us.
We're the big UFC fans. We've been to many things.
So we can just plug our podcast the entire time.
You just see BBP t-shirts across, like emboldened across their chest. What t-shirts are they wearing? Oh, it's just a dumb podcast they do.
Oh, I forgot about this. Derrick Lewis, after he did his signature, the slide, the Black Beast slide he does when he wins, he did a good old suck it 2 tears in the bucket, right? Is that what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Across the crotch there.
It's the DX move from 1998.
Yeah, that one.
Break it down.
That's that. All right, we done, Ray?
Yeah, we're done.
Let me finish this beer first.
Give your plugs and all that kind of stuff because I have some stuff to plug as well.
This is real hair.
No, it's not.
I don't have anything at Dig Danko.
At Dig Danko, and then for me, let me pull up. I just got booked for a show on 4/17, April 17th. I'll be at Paradise Island in Euclid hosting for the 420 show that they're doing, an early 420 show with Milton Wiley, probably LJ Payne, a couple other comics. He's expecting me to do a whole new set. That's probably not going to happen because I still have the same jokes from 5 years ago, even though I'm trying to do new ones.
Someone booking you and tell you to do all new stuff?
He is, yeah.
Okay.
I understand why. Because I'm starting to get tired of my old shit, but it works. It's a good 10 minutes I've carved out for myself in the comedy world. But I'll be hosting that show the 17th of April, along with, again, March 4th, Joe Howard and Aaron Berg from In Hot Water. Go to Compound Media, subscribe, watch the show In Hot Water. It's a great show with him and Gino Bisconti. Gino has my favorite thing, and it's definitely an Ian Heinisch level line when it's they don't give a fuck about your money when he bets on sports. Gino is absolutely fucking right. But go watch In Hot Water on Compound Media and the Anthony Cumia Show with our buddy Dave Landau and Anthony Cumia from the Opie and Anthony Show. Way better than Greg Hughes. I might try and surprise myself by getting Anthony on this show. He's willing to talk to anybody, and he has said that. So I'm going to send a thing over to their bookers, E-Rock probably from the Opie and Anthony Show. But yeah, Aaron Burr.
You're giving him your money.
No, I'm a subscriber and a loyal subscriber, and will always subscribe to Compound Media as long as I have the money. I think it's the best podcast network out there right now, outside of maybe Gas Digital. Gas Digital has some really good stuff as well, but Compound Media, go check them out. Compound America on Facebook. They have promo codes for monthly subscription, the 6-month subscription, and the year subscription. And I believe it's Compound Media or Compound 1220 or something of that nature for the year subscription, 20% off. Go check them out. For Tim Danko, I'm Ray Hyclack. Thank you guys for watching the Bro Plata. And we will see you at the Kumite, you sons of bitches.
Ray, the internet told me that Chris